something about it.
I love me some Airbender.
Let's talk it. Let's get down with some airbending talk.
Yarp.
Well, actually, it's called Avatar, but they can't use that
Well,
name
yeah,
because
James Cameron took care of
because James
that
Cameron will show up and he'll put a hurting on them.
He was like,
technically,
This is Richard Citrone, and you're watching the 4Nerds. Soon to be 5Nerds.
Where's the intro? Hey, sorry, folks.
What's up, you guys?
It's been a while since we've had a show.
A week?
No,
Yeah.
we did it last week.
No, we didn't
We
do it
didn't?
last week, but we did the week
Did not.
before.
That's right.
So
So yeah, we're out of practice. What up, Nerd Costa Nostra? We're doing well. We are doing well.
we are
we're
fine.
doing really well, man. Thank you for showing up.
Hello,
You and Anthony Beltray and everybody else who's watching at home.
And
welcome
for
to
all of those who
episode-
watched us.
What is it?
162.
162 of the 4Nerds. Dawson will be joining us momentarily. He's on his way back from a top secret meeting that he's having. So look forward to seeing Dawson when he gets here. But guys, how are you doing? How was your week? Was it eventful? Anything memorable?
Hey, what's up, Droga?
I can just skip over the question.
Well, it was my birthday on Friday.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
happy
Right.
birthday!
Happy birthday.
What's good, Jason? And everybody, when you get a chance in the chat, put down a happy birthday to Phil, because it was his birthday earlier this week. What day was that on, Phil?
Last Friday.
Last Friday. What did you do for your birthday? Did you go out and get hammered or do anything cool?
I woke up, went to the gym, then came home, showered, shaved, picked up my dad, went to the bank, then we went to Mel's and got some lunch, whatever, because it was like 1 o'clock our time. Then we went to this arcade in the Galleria that just opened up within the last year or two. Pretty cool stuff over there. And then I came back home and had some cake and hopped on the vodka stream with Dave and a couple of our friends and just shot the shit about all the nerdy shit going on the past week because we didn't do a show last week.
No.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool birthday. And then over the weekend, I just kind of hung out and did fuck all. Because it was raining.
Thank you, Nerd Costa Nostra, as well for the comments. But that
Appreciate
sounds
it.
very
He's a
eventful for
badass,
your
man.
birthday.
Did you get any presents?
No, but I did.
He blows the fat cloud.
But I did. Well, I kinda. I
It
pre-ordered.
looks like the smoke from the platforms when you leave a ship.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I pre-ordered and paid off Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
Oh, nice.
the deluxe edition. I'm a huge Final Fantasy dork, so yeah,
The graphics on that are incredible.
The game looks incredible. The first part is fucking amazing. If you've played
Well-
the original game, it's
Mhm.
beautiful. But this one's just a outright step up in every single way.
Well, not yeah. It's like 6 steps up. It's like when I was looking at screenshots, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that's the same game I played years ago. It instead of being all polygoned, which they still look really cool, they're like full on detailed characters now. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, they're it's called the Final Fantasy VII Remake Project, and they're splitting the game up into different parts. The first part, Final Fantasy VII Remake, encapsulates all of what happens in Midgar. This game is pretty much taking you to the end of Disc 1, because the initial game came out in 3 separate discs. So I'm wondering if Disc 2 and 3 are going to be compacted into one final, because they said it's going to be a trilogy. So I'm wondering if Disc 2 and 3 are going to be kind of compacted into just one final story for that third part. I don't know. They could do 4 or 5. I'm honestly not too sure how they're going to pan it out.
Well, that's cool. No, and that was a really cool game too. You know what? It sucks because the first time I played it, the first time I played the game, I was very impatient and I sort of like ran through the game, and then I got to the last boss, and my characters were not strong enough to defeat him, and there was no spot for me to go back and like farm my characters and just build it. Like there wasn't a spot for that, so I was like, oh great, now I'm screwed. So I ended up having to start all over again. It was
What up?
very demoralizing. What's up, Kevin? Old dog hair? What's going on, man?
Howdy. Yeah, I mean, if you don't grind at certain points when there is a grind available, you're going to screw yourself pretty hard in the end. That doesn't just apply to that one Final Fantasy. That can apply to.
It also doesn't apply to being in the club either.
Right.
When there's a grind, you want to grind.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, so there was a rumor that was put out there. I should say an image that was put out there that was an absolute fake. I was trying to find it right now, but there was an image of David Cornsweet in the Superman suit. It turns out it was absolutely fake. And Phil, you probably hadn't seen it because you're not on Twitter anymore, so you didn't get to see the foolishness that was going on. Let me see if I can find it. David Cornsweet, Superman. They may have taken it all down now, but there was an image that was out there that had him in the suit.
Thank you, William. Appreciate it.
I
bought Ultimate Spider-Man #1 from William for my birthday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the new book. Thanks, buddy.
What's up, William? You know what? I can't find the image. They may have taken it down, but it was spreading like a wildfire, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, there it is, the real image!" And it was not. It was actually an image of Henry Cavill, and they put his head over Henry Cavill. Oh, here, I got it right here. Let me share it. What's going on, Dawson?
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, only when you look that way.
So I just gotta face this way when I talk.
Yes.
Cool.
So here's the image we were talking about. So everybody was like, "Oh my God, there he is! That's how he's gonna look."
Fake.
And it's fake. It's
Yeah.
absolutely fake. And,
Obviously fake. That's clearly like that's Henry Cavill's hair.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell by the background that's a flag, and there's no way.
Yeah, no.
Well, and they even had it like watermarked to try and like fool everybody, but no, it was fake. But let me see.
And that's that news.
That's that news. So
And
don't
now
fall
on
for
to
that.
Airbender.
We know he tested in one of the suits.
Right.
Oh, that looks more fake than the other one.
Oh, this is fake right here as well. But so here is some questions and answers from James Gunn on Instagram. Someone said, "Hey, Mr. Gunn, just one question: has David Cornsweet used the Superman suit on the screen testing? There is a leak on the internet, which is fake. I don't know if it's true or not, but it looks great as the new Superman." He says, "Glad you think he looks great, but there's no leak. The only photos taken of David in the Superman suit are on my phone, and I'm standing with him." So that pretty much debunked the whole thing about the image of Henry Cavill. But there was another article out there that stated that David Cornsweet had a hard time fitting into the suit because he had to screen test in Henry Cavill's likely Justice League suit. And apparently he couldn't really fit in that suit because he was too tall. So he had to kind of stretch into it.
He's a couple inches taller than Henry.
So
Yeah,
it looks
James
like
Gunn said,
pajamas that were
I'm
too
impressed.
small for a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I know. Well, at first I was like, okay, I thought they were gonna say because he's too big, too yoked.
He's too
But
hulky.
they said because he's too tall, which made sense. I'm like, yeah, if you're taller and you're putting in a suit that's made for a shorter person, it's gonna be kind of hard.
Yeah.
So maybe he just put the top on and left the bottom off. I don't know. But apparently he did screen test for it. James Gunn has photos of David Cornsweet as in the Superman suit. That's pretty cool. But I'm curious to see what his new suit is going to look like.
Apparently, I heard this from. I was watching Film Junkies Monday stream. Someone has allegedly seen him in the suit. Someone working on Superman Legacy, and they said it's gonna please a lot of people. I don't really know.
Oh, there's some post or tweet or whatever. The guy's name was Dan or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Malish. Yeah.
I saw that.
And
Nobody knows who this person is, and it's like
I know who he is. He's a small indie filmmaker in LA.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm pretty sure he's got friends in the business, so it wouldn't at all shock me if he knows someone who's working on Legacy. But from what I understand, the person who did see it said that the suit will please a lot of people. I would imagine that means Superman fans specifically. The big rumor is that it's supposed to be Fleischer inspired, and the S might be the black S. So I don't know.
It looks like I found your source.
Quite
The
possible.
main thing that I
Axel
heard
Droga.
The main thing that I heard, I can't remember what the source was for this, but they said that it was going to be a surprising look to him compared to previous looks. So honestly, at that point, I was like, it'd be hilarious, and it would piss off a lot of Superman fans, which is why it would be hilarious if they went the New 52 Superman shirt and jeans look that he had for a little bit of time.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I know they won't do it, but it would crack.
They won't. Well, unless there's a flashback to when he was, at a younger age, then maybe
that would
he
make
had
sense. That would make sense.
I like Drogo's comment here. I heard he was wearing the Sasha Kaye Supergirl suit for the audition.
Very funny.
It's too big. It don't fit me.
It's like, no, duh.
What about Henry Cavill's suit? Don't worry about that. That's not our Superman anymore.
Henry.
Yeah.
He's coming back.
It's not our Superman anymore. This is the most previous super person from Kryptonia. From Kryptonia. Isn't it Krypton? Whatever.
It is Krypton.
Just put it on.
We just know he needs to get back to Kryptonia.
Yeah, he's got to repair his ship. That's what he's got to do. Then we got this one here. He says, "Hi James, I'd like to know where you are in the process of creating Superman's costume and music."
No, just leave it at where you are. Where are you, James?
Where are you right now? I want to find you.
He's probably in Georgia. If I had to guess, he's probably doing pre-production in Georgia right now.
Probably. He says, the costume is mostly done, but we're still going back and forth on some elements. A lot of the score, maybe even most of the major themes, have already been written.
Well, that's neat.
So it's cool. That's a little update there. But still, the Fleischer suit, would be cool. And I think that it would give him a different look that we haven't seen before.
Sure.
Well, if he goes with the classic S with the yellow behind it, and then
think about the last three people who played Superman in a movie. You have Christopher Reeve, you have Brandon Routh, and you have Henry Cavill. All three of their suits have damn near the same color scheme. You can make the argument that Henry Cavill's suit is probably shades darker, given the way that Man of Steel was shot too. But even still, for on the whole, they are the same principal color scheme: red, blue, with a little bit of yellow. I think if he wants to distinguish himself a little bit from past iterations, I would say doing the Fleischer suit with the black S would be a nice way of doing that.
Yeah, use the yellow. That makes sense to me.
And then here's a picture from DC Film News saying this is the last appearance of all three of these characters. Okay, depressing, sad, but it is what it is.
I'd actually rather watch Black Adam over the Flash, which is really sad.
Yep.
Yeah, I would too.
Sure.
I thought that Batman, well, aside from them not using the modulator, the modulated voice, which is a really dumb decision if you ask me, but whatever. I was fine with his performance as Batman until he got out, until they were on the bridge talking. Then it got really corny. Yeah. But all the action scenes I thought were cool. I was totally cool with that.
Oh yeah.
And then 100%. Wonder Woman was just there, it was just kind of like, oh.
As much as it pains me,
straight from Shazam 2.
It pains me to say it. She was just there to collect a paycheck for that one scene.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And it sucks too because we're all very much aware that Gal Gadot can fucking act and play that role like it's nothing, and it's just like cool. We get one shot of Wonder Woman in the Flash movie, and that's it. And it's just like awesome. That's cool.
And she's just there to be ogled at, essentially.
Yeah, right. It's like fuck. That was a studio call. It was not Reese Geddes at all.
My son's in the room with me. He's like, "Whoa,
wow! Is
that Gal Gadot?
Gal Gadot?
Is that Wonder Woman? Do you know
Wonder
Woman's dad?
Let's do a little game here. So let's rank the final DCEU movies from best to worst. Okay, here they are right here. You got Shazam, The Flash, Blue Beetle, Aquaman. I guess this one left off Black Adam.
Well, Black Adam was the year before, so.
Yeah. So out of all these 4 films, how would you rank them? Dawson, I'll start with you because you're paying the least attention.
I'm paying attention. I'm just drawing. I'm also listening. So first and foremost, I still haven't seen Shazam or Aquaman 2.
Oh my god.
So I'm leaving those out.
Okay, between The Flash and Blue Beetle.
And Black Adam. But I'd put The Flash at the bottom. Then I'd put Black Adam, then Blue Beetle at the top. I really enjoyed Blue Beetle.
Max?
Yeah, Blue Beetle was good.
Yeah, it's, in my opinion, the best DC movie they've put out since Zack Snyder's Justice League. But that's just me.
Okay, Max put in his ranking already. Thank you, Max.
Dang,
The Flash, Shazam 2, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman 2 last? What? Phil, how about you?
Okay. I don't think Blue Beetle's technically a part of the DCEU, so I'm kind of stepping that side on that one, and I'll just do the other three. Aquaman, Flash, Shazam.
Yeah. And then Ryan, I don't think you saw any of these films except for the Flash, right?
No, I'm just going at it by name only. So
What's up, Toledo?
I haven't seen Aquaman. Blue Beetle, Flash, Shazam. And I mean,
think
Black Adam would be in there, but
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I mean, Black
like
Adam
Phil
would
was
probably
saying.
be above, so it'd be Blue Beetle, Black Adam, Flash, and Shazam.
Of the four, I enjoyed Blue Beetle the most, but like I said, I don't consider it part of the DCEU, so I kind of remove it from that ranking.
I mean, to be
I
honest, like,
add it to mine because it's a movie that was released.
That's fair.
You know, it's just it's a superhero movie from DC. I could care less if it's part of James Gunn's universe or part of Hamada's or whatever the fuck.
Hamada.
It's just a movie that was released, and it happens to be the best one of the five that we're talking about.
yeah,
I don't know
that
about
makes
Aquaman 2.
He's like, you rang? I'm still getting unpacked.
Paramount, they changed the law.
I have Aquaman above on my DC ranking, like the DCEU ranking. I have Aquaman above Black Adam, but then again, I like Black Adam more than both the Shazam films and Flash. So
If I had to rank it, it would be basically going from the bottom to the top. I would say Aquaman, Blue Beetle, The Flash, and Shazam. I don't know what it was about Aquaman. I think it's because my expectations were really, really low. But I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was actually a fairly good movie. It wasn't like the greatest thing on earth by any means. But I don't know. I just liked it because it stayed within its own realm. It didn't try to become something it wasn't, you know. And so I was like, oh, this is not too bad. I mean, there's some scenes in there that are kind of like, oh god, but still.
like,
What's up, Chris?
If Aquaman 2 is anything, it leans into the stuff that didn't really work for the first film a little too much. But even still, like, even despite all the turmoil and all the shit we heard about it, James Wan still delivered a pretty solid movie. And honestly, it's made more money than any of those other ones at the box office. So,
Yeah.
not that it should be a barometer for quality or anything, but like, I'm just saying, like people evidently went to go see Aquaman 2 over Black Adam, over Flash, over Shazam, over Blue Beetle. But again, you could also make the debate that not a lot of people could see it or wanted to see it because it didn't get enough promotion, i.e. Shazam, or no, exclude Shazam from that. Flash and Blue Beetle, they did not get that much exposure due to the strikes.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
Also, a lot of women wanted to go see Jason Momoa.
This is true. This is very true.
He's. I know this of people I know that are like, yeah, no, Jason Momoa, I'll see him in anything, and just because they want to have a look at that bod.
For sure.
Well, earlier, we were asking, where is James Gunn? Well, he did post this image not too long ago, and this was this image
seen
here.
this one yet. Okay.
And
There's Dave. He's in a suit. You can see him.
No, that's Jason Momoa. No, I'm just kidding. No, but so he posted this image. And everyone was like, like what could this mean? Why would he post this? And of course, everyone then said, oh, this must be
I think it's pretty obvious.
Solitude.
Yeah. It's got to lean towards that. It's got to.
Which do you think he's going to have a Fortress of Solitude like this, or is it going to look have a different look to it? What do you guys think?
I imagine he's probably going to go as classical as he can with the Fortress of Solitude, because he had the very psychological version of it with Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill's version.
It's going to be that.
And so they're going to want to try to appease as many fans as possible and give like an actual solitude.
Especially Superman fans. Yeah, I'm kind of with Dawson on this. I think it's going to to be a very traditional
Crypto
looking...
has to stay somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be a very traditional looking...
I mean, I would imagine this image is probably, one of his second units out there just, scouting for locations for these shots. And so he poses that, like, yeah, tight. Look at that. But, I mean, it goes to show you again. Go ahead.
I don't think they're going to... I could be wrong about this, but I think they might do some practicalness for the Fortress of Solitude, but I think it will mostly be CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine, like, the shots inside of it will be mostly practical, but, of course, all the long shots and backed out shots will all be the CGI where the hell it's at.
Right.
I like how he says he's trying to find Hamada.
He's like, he's the key. Where did he go?
He's the key. Find him.
There he is. James Gunn, I see you.
He's out there somewhere.
Please do not feed the wildlife.
We must have fed him.
Oh,
But no, so it's pretty cool. I mean, so he's definitely gonna have a Fortress of Solitude, probably in Antarctica or in the South Pole, North Pole, wherever, to try and stay true to the source material. So we'll see how it turns out.
I think
We're still ways away. What's that?
I was joking and saying I think he should put it in Alaska.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, truth, justice, and the American way.
it's got to be in America. Why not? America, yeah. So I mean, still, we're still a ways away. I mean, this movie doesn't come out until what 2025. So that's it's still over or at least a year away from coming out. But I mean, it's a quick turnaround because I mean, I think they're going to go into production filming wise in March. And then you figure what, like a 6-month shoot. So what is that? March, April, May, June, July. He finishes August,
give or take.
and then he has from August all the way through to probably January, February, and then they're gonna have to have it done somewhere around that time, and then it's gonna come out in the summertime.
And he notoriously also shoots on time and under budget too. Like I'd be shocked if he shot this movie and went over budget and needed reshoots. But we'll see.
Yeah, because his Guardians films never had a lot of reshoots at all.
Nope. Hardly any. I don't even think the Suicide Squad had reshoots.
Yeah, I don't think it did either. He usually shoots exactly what he wants, but I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. I think he could do something really cool, but only time will tell how it's really going to turn out.
Right.
I know Ryan called me the other day. He was fully excited about seeing Corn Sweat in the suit. So Ryan, you just got to hang tight.
It's coming out. I feel like an official
God.
post is coming.
I promise you, he's going to release that picture on or around the beginning of March at the end of February before they start shooting it. And matter of fact, it wouldn't at all shock me if they started shooting early at the end of February. I wouldn't be surprised. And once they do start shooting outside on locations, he's pretty much going to be forced to fucking show us a picture of him in the suit because he doesn't want it to leak.
Yeah.
I'm
He's the
calling
one
it
who's
right
definitely
now.
going to put it out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at this.
We
I'm not going to pull it up.
we don't have that.
On Twitter
We don't
or
have access
Twitch.
to that.
It's a hi, sorry to bother you. We want to offer you this great offer to buy subs for you. Okay, so we have this other news break right here, which is basically we heard about the Supergirl finalists. There was 4 of them. Well,
I sent you guys this in the group
2
chat.
of them
I
have
don't
been
know if you
knocked
guys
off. 2 of them have been banished from the island, and now we are down to just these 2 right here, which is Millie Alcox. Yeah, I said Millie this time, not Miley. And Meg Donnelly, who does the voice for Supergirl in the animated movie. So apparently it's down to these 2, and they have both screen tested in Atlanta. So again, guys, I mean, just looking at their appearance, who would you go with? Ryan, let's go with you because you hate women. So go ahead.
Neither, because I hate women.
Superman, not Supergirl.
Kryptonians don't have women.
They use machines to breed.
I mean, I love all the speculation and shit, but to be honest, I could care less.
Let me guess.
I'm not saying you care. I'm not saying you do care. I'm just saying if you
They
look at these
both
2
look
girls,
let me
to
guess.
me.
You
They
won't.
look very pleasing to the eye. But
Oh my God.
I mean,
Let me
if
guess.
one of them is a better actor than the other, then go with the better actor. I could give a shit.
I was just gonna say, like, you probably won't give a flying shit until someone's actually cast, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know these women from anything. I couldn't. I've never seen them that I know of in any form of media, so I don't know if they're gonna be any good. Like, oh yeah, choose the girl on the left. Well, she could suck, or she could be very flat. Like, I didn't know anything about Sasha.
Excuse
Kaya,
me?
but when she,
I knew
I
you were
didn't know
gonna-
about Sasha Kaya until
you
she came out in
pig,
Flash.
you
And then,
pig.
hey, thank you. Oink oink.
Do you ever watch Legion of Superheroes, the animated Tomorrowverse movie?
Legion of Superheroes. I might have. With
Well-
yeah, I think so. With her and
Brainiac 5.
Brainiac
Mon-El.
5. Yes, I did see
Okay, so the chick on the right voices Supergirl in
that.
that
The
movie.
chick. Yeah. Okay. So from what James,
I'm a
was
boy.
saying-
My name is Anakin.
God damn it.
Are you an angel? So the girl on the right, because James said some shit about like, you know, the voice actors are going to be on, you know, on the on-screen, you know, I would assume that he'd be like, yeah, you're already doing the voice. You're number 2 on the list. Might as well be number 1. And she can be your understudy if anything, you know, happens to you. So
I think Miley Alcock is going to win because I mean she's already established herself with the company in
Game of Thrones,
House of the Dragon.
Right?
Yeah, and she
Is that
kicked
the girl on the
ass.
Yeah.
okay.
She kicked ass in House of the Dragons. That's why I was like, dude. And the other girl, I mean, I think she can still pull it off. I mean, I mean to the point where, you know, I guess I am also at a point where, you know, I either one would be good, but I think because of I've seen the other one in the Game of Thrones, and I like what she did.
You have context. I don't.
But that's why I made it simple for you. I just said based on their looks, who would you choose? And then you had to give us this
They're
big
both
metaphorical,
attractive ladies.
this big metaphorical. I don't care. I'm above all this.
I'm above all that.
blonde.
I'm not a misogynist.
Unless Snyder's involved, I don't care.
They're both blonde. That's, you know, there's trait number 1 you need for Supergirl from Woman of Tomorrow.
And even then,
blonde.
she can wear a wig if not.
Right.
Well, I
Or they
mean,
can color the hair.
you guys are totally being mean to Sasha Calle.
But I think that when it comes to the character of Supergirl that's represented in Woman of Tomorrow,
Yeah.
I would think that Millie Alcock would be a better fit for that character because
What's up,
she has
Jason?
more attitude. She has more just her whole way that she is. I think applies better to Millie Alcock. But
And how tall are these ladies?
I think
don't
Millie
know.
Alcock's shorter. I think she's
I can look it up though.
Could be wrong, but I don't know.
Because I mean, if Kal-El is going to be what 6'4",
6'4",
and then you have like, you know, a 5'2", you know.
Okay, Millie Alcock, the girl on the left, she's 5'5".
5'5".
Let's
And then
see.
Meg Donnelly.
I'm looking up right now. She's 5'3". She's even
Wow.
Okay,
shorter.
so
Wow. Okay.
Nope, it's gonna go to
based
Alcock.
on that,
That's
maybe
it.
might-
Then we're done. Done and
That's
done.
it.
Well, but I mean, look, I like we all saw that, you know, Vin
put her in
Diesel's a
heels.
short guy, yet he played next to The Rock, and they didn't seem like
You
they
could
were
always stand on a stool.
on a box.
Yeah. We could all do the Sylvester Stallone, you know, just, you know, hey, put me on a box.
Right.
Oh, here we
He's
go.
only
Look, see,
5'9".
Butter Chicken knows, which is actually Axel. He says that women can wear wigs. Just ask Grace Randolph. All right.
I don't think I will.
Or Livewire. What? But anyway, so it's down to the.
Livewire. Livewire is a character created from the Superman animated show.
I was thinking more of LimeWire. That's what I used to use to download, music and.
You're dating yourself with that.
Yeah, I know.
I did
I don't
too.
think Drogo even
I
knows
still
what
use
LimeWire is.
Shazam.
I still
to
use
get all my,
Morpheus.
playlists.
Morpheus was a big one too. Remember that one?
No.
I used
he was in
LimeWire,
the Matrix.
Morpheus. I never used Napster, but still.
Napster was long dead by the time LimeWire came out.
Oh yeah, it was like dead and buried.
I got
and
all my information from Netscape.
Lars Ulrich already had sued them,
Yeah, he did.
and then there was AOL. Remember the free discs? they used to
AOL,
send you
Roadrunner.
Yep.
Roadrunner,
Internet.
Netscape, Net
I
Zero.
already said Netscape. I used to get on Juno
Oh
because
god,
it was free.
it was free. Net Zero was free, but then they had an ad bar
They had
that was
that
always
ad
on your
bar.
screen,
Yes.
and you had to move it around. It was so
Yes.
annoying. It was like, dude,
No,
this is
that's
not
why I used
free.
Juno, because it was like you could
Juno?
come on, but then you could click it away and be like, hey, having fun.
Having fun.
Fuck you.
So Dawson, talk to us about. You're all boomers. Yeah, so are you. So Dawson, talk to us a little bit about The Last Airbender.
Yeah, because I mean that is the.
Because I don't know anything about this. You put it on the thumbnails.
Yeah.
I figured you were ready
You
to.
put it on
Just-
blast.
You were ready to go full head of steam right into Airbender.
Yeah, I mean, because first and foremost, my wife and I were big fans of the animated show that is just, in my opinion, one of the best animated shows ever made. If anyone out there has watched it, you know, it's just very well told, very well animated. It's just a great show. And I'm not going to lie, when I heard they were doing a live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix, I cringed, because they did They did a live-action version already with M. Night Shyamalan, which is atrocious and terrible, and no one should ever consider that a thing that actually exists ever.
I liked it.
No, you didn't. Fucking liar. No one liked it. No one liked it. That is the biggest lie anyone will ever tell you.
From M. Night Shyamalan?
Huh?
I'm Dawson's calling my bluff. I'm totally bullshitting. I don't fucking like the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
Come on now.
No, it's terrible. It's awful. It's a terrible.
This is when they started to remove his name from the movies. Remember how it used to be M. Night Shyamalan's whatever? Yeah. And then they started removing his name because they were like, well, if we put it on there, everyone's going to say, oh, this is a shitty movie.
It's not working out very well. But yeah, so they dropped another trailer for it either yesterday or today. Yesterday. And I'm not going to lie, it looks fantastic. You look at the trailer, there are so many shots that are referring to episodes in the original show's first season. Like
the trailer.
Yeah, like they mentioned the Blue Spirit, which is a character that pops up later in the first season.
I've seen the stills. It looks fucking close.
It looks spot on.
Really, looks spot on, yeah.
You have the character Jet that appears, which is a very he appears in one episode, then later on down in the show.
Check Porkins.
No. Then you also have, you got to see how the firebending works, which overall looks pretty decent, looked pretty well. The only concern that I have as far as the bending CGI is concerned is earth bending, because that's really difficult to like get right.
Yeah.
But the brief glimpse we got in the trailer looks really nice. We also saw the city of Omashu, which is a very pivotal location in the show. And honestly looks like they're straight up just adapting most of the episodes of the first season of the animated show into live action, just beat for beat, which is exactly what they should have done in the first place. And overall, it just looks really fantastic. And I think the highlight for me will probably be the actor who portrays Sokka, because you know, Sokka's such an important comedic character in the original show, and they have an actor in this one who looks a lot like him and sounds a lot like him too. Like his voice is scarily similar. So I'm just really excited for it. I don't care what you guys think, but I'm really stoked for it.
We're glad.
The only thing I'm really, if I have any concerns whatsoever, I saw a still of Aang on the fucking air scooter. That looked dope. That looks great. But if I had any concerns whatsoever, it's how they're gonna do the finale. If they do it exactly how season 1 ends.
Yeah, go full Moon Spirit.
Yep.
Oh yeah, man. If they do that, that's going to look gorgeous.
Yeah.
If they pull it off, it's going to look absolutely amazing. But, yeah, there's that. And then you also have the CGI animals like Appa and Momo.
And Momo, right.
Yeah, and from the trailer, they looked overall pretty good. Appa's a tough one to do in live action just because it's such an odd design. And, again, from what I saw...
He's a flying air bison, yeah.
Yeah, like how are you going to do that in live action and not make it look weird and stand out like a sore thumb? But... Again, from everything we saw, it looks like they're making the world, or I guess they're doing more with the world of Avatar than the movie did, which, again, obviously they should have.
So you're saying it feels a lot more authentic to the TV show than the first movie did? Yeah,
you can tell the original creators had their hands all over this thing.
And it's ironic because they left very early on in the making of this series, too.
Yeah, which also was a thing that concerned me. And so I would imagine that this first season...
They got their own studio to work on Avatar-specific projects.
Yeah, like new
that's
animated
basically
stuff.
The gist of it. Yeah.
But like, so I would expect it to go like this. I expect the first season to be really good because again, it looks like it follows a lot of the stories, which are great. But since they aren't attached to it anymore, if they were to do the next seasons, I'd expect maybe a little bit of a fall off if they don't follow what the original creators wanted to do.
I think
they'd be fools not to.
They're gonna get some kind of executive producer credit, but they won't be heavily involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. But I don't know. I'm really excited for it. I hope that Netflix has learned a thing or two from M. Night Shyamalan's disaster, and it looks like they have. So, yeah, fingers crossed for this thing. I'm really excited for it. My wife's really excited for it because again, she watches the show at least once a year.
There's a group of people out there that fucking love M. Night Shyamalan's version of Airbender, The Last Airbender. Just like
you'd be hard pressed. The only people who would like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I've seen that movie. It's not very good.
Yeah, the only people that would like it are people that have never seen the original show.
And I'd never seen the original show, and I watched that movie, and I didn't like the movie at all.
And see, even then, you've never seen the show, and you still.
It's one of those movies where, as you're watching it, I was like, "This is not good. This is not bad."
I mean, they even pronounced Aang's name Ong for some reason. Like they just,
It's not even called Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's just called The Last Airbender.
Well, because they couldn't use the name Avatar. Like James Cameron would not let them use the name Avatar: Last Airbender. It had to be The Last Airbender, which is
even though Avatar: The Last Airbender came before his. Fucking
it did. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
It's all about copyright and trademark.
Yeah,
and relicensing.
The trademark. So sort of switch gears here. There is some news about Daredevil Born Again, which is going through a whole revamp, right? So, and this is some really good news. So, and this comes courtesy of THR. It says Philip Silvera, who was the stunt and fight coordinator on Netflix's Daredevil, is returning for Daredevil Born Again. So they literally reached out to the guy who did the stunt coordinating for the Netflix show and said, "Hey, man, we need you on the MCU show." So again, they're bringing back the actors who played Karen and Foggy. They're bringing back the actor who played.
Confirmed, sir.
Okay.
You know damn good and well that's not confirmed.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
That's just sloppy journalism.
It's sloppy journalism.
That's exactly what it is. Because Jeff Snyder's a fucking sloppy piece of shit.
Well, he is. I definitely, and in fact, I make sure to mention that he's a piece of shit in all my videos. But
Good.
very
good.
But it's funny because if that turns out to be true, which I hope it is, because it would make the show a lot better.
Don't get me wrong. I would love for it to be true, but if it is, that means we have to get that ass bag credit, and I don't want to do that. Because fuck that guy. That guy's a piece of shit. Fuck him.
He is. And so, but this right here, bringing this guy back to do the stunt coordinating and the fight coordinating, I think that's really good because, I mean, that was some of the best things about the Netflix show was all the fight sequences were just raw and brutal, and I loved it.
Yes.
And so, again, this is a step in the right direction. And I think, when it comes to a show like the show Echo, I think they were trying to kind of test out the waters on that. Like, hey, what if we gave them something that's a little more violent? How can we get away with that? And how can we kind of like market that? And I think that kind of paved the way for them to be like, yeah, this will work. Let's get this guy in here and let's retool the show.
But you didn't like Echo, correct?
No, I didn't at all. But the fight scenes were a little more brutal than the other content that they put out. But like I said, I think that was the barometer of like, hey, let's do this and see if we can get away with it or see how the audience reacts to it. Yeah. And I thought that the fighting worked for the most part, but the show itself, the story, I wasn't a huge fan of anything outside of Vincent D'Onofrio and Daredevil. Everything else was just like I just didn't care enough. Yeah. Like the character Biscuits, I didn't care.
What?
There's a guy named Biscuits.
Biscuits.
Her cousin, I didn't care, and there wasn't enough of the character that I really cared about what was going to happen to them. So it was kind of just like I was kind of watching it just to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah.
But I thought Vincent D'Onofrio did a great job on the show. I really like that. And so far, this is from Hollywood Handle, not confirmed. Nathan. Why are you calling your brother's name? Okay. So he says Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, John Barenthal, Deborah Ann Wool, not confirmed. Eldon Henson as Foggy, not confirmed, and Wilson Bethel as Bullseye. So, what?
I don't think Bernthal and Wilson Bethel are hard confirmed either.
I don't think they're hard confirmed either.
What about Colin Farrell?
Comicbook.com said they can exclusively report that Wilson Bethel is coming back. They never cited any source or anything like that pertaining as to how or why or like who legitimately said he is or is not coming back. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see Foggy, Punisher, Karen, and fucking Bullseye come back.
I think they're going to come back. At this point, you kind of have to.
I would certainly hope so, especially considering the way Season 3 ended. Yeah, you're right. And now that they've said, yeah, we're taking the Daredevil Netflix stuff and it's part of our canon now, yeah, you kind of need to bring all these people back.
You have to.
You kind of have to.
And my thing about all this is like, I'm happy with the news that I'm hearing, whether it be confirmed or not. But at the same time, it also frustrates me because I'm sitting here thinking, why in the hell did you not just do this in the first place? Why on earth, when you decided to bring Charlie Cox in to No Way Home as Daredevil, did you not just simply make it obvious that, hey, we are going to do all the things that the Netflix show did and just continue that? Why wasn't that your first thought? Why did they decide to try to reinvent the wheel by doing their own thing,
it's the same
killing off certain
thing.
characters? Like, it pisses me off that was their thought process in the first place. And they were just like, oh, well, you know what? Let's retract.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, let's retract.
Well,
and do
it's not
this
that
other
it's
way.
cheaper.
That it's
I think
cheaper.
what it is, this goes back to what we talked about when it came to, not to retread, beat a dead horse here, but it's kind of the same thing as like what Disney was doing with some of the Star Wars characters, or Warner Bros. Was doing with some of the DC characters. It's kind of like, well, if we can create our own version and do a soft reboot of Daredevil, then those are our characters, and we reap all the profits of those characters. Mm-hmm. There is no like, oh, well, we still have to give, credit to these other individuals who help, bring these other actors in and all that. I think they wanted to just kind of do a soft reboot and have their own set of characters to go with him, but they're realizing that's just dumb. It's
like, oh, well, we have this Netflix show that everyone really loves and still talks about to this day as one of the best things that Marvel put out during the entire span of the MCU, even though it wasn't connected to the MCU. Let's completely change it and make it unrecognizable and try to rely off people loving Charlie Cox. It's like, no. You're missing the frickin' point, as studios often do. When you have Charlie Cox in there in No Way Home, immediate thought should be, as an executive, Kevin Feige, you should think, okay, we're doing what the Netflix show did. People love that. Let's continue that. It was a mistake to cut that off in the first place. Let's continue to do that. But no, again, they try to, I don't even know, like, outthink themselves. Like Disney has the past couple of years. It's just like, no, do the simple and obvious thing.
Yeah.
The simple and obvious thing is usually the best answer.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like if they went with this as their canon, as the Netflix show, that they'd have to pay some kind of royalties to Netflix or to people that were involved with that show that are no longer involved in Born Again. And so it's kind of like, I think that's what they were trying to do. Like, well, this is how we cut them out and make this our own thing. But, I mean, to be honest, it makes more sense to just make this your canon because the show was so successful. Mm-hmm. And then they pretty much have now, because, I mean, you have, Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. All those are all on the MCU timeline on Disney Plus. So I think they finally embraced it and said, all right, let's just make all that canon. It's not like we can't afford to pay these people. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, we're Disney.
I don't even think it has anything to do with that. I think it's just more so like just they're being conscious of just trying to continue the story. I mean, it's not quite the same deal, but look at what happened with Young Justice after season 2. It got canceled on Cartoon Network, then it got brought back on DC Universe, and then eventually back on Max. You're literally just carrying it over from one network to the next. Right. So I don't really.
They have to take in consideration the not continuity, but the melding or meshing of different universes, and I think that's one of the problems they have with Blade. Is how do you make Blade fucking coincide with Spider-Man or Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever the fuck and still say what, it all connects seamlessly. And
I mean, if you look at what is it, Werewolf by Night, Blade would slot in perfectly with stuff like that, right?
But isn't Werewolf by Night like an all Elseworlds kind of thing?
No,
it's not.
No, it is in the MCU proper.
Okay, then.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
But to me, this is a step in the right direction. If all these characters are confirmed and do come back, then that's awesome. But then I also heard a rumor that the actress that's playing Karen Page, she's only in 3 episodes. So that doesn't make any sense. How she can be in 3 episodes? If that's true, it's kind of like...
I saw that same sentiment, but not geared towards her. It was towards Bethel as Bullseye. I saw a rumor that Bethel was only going to be in 3 episodes.
Well, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
Because you would think that Karen and Foggy would be in almost every episode.
Yeah, because honestly, like, you read some of the best Daredevil stories, they always feature somewhat to heavily Foggy and to some extent Karen. Like, they're core characters of the story that need to be there to help counterbalance Daredevil's life of heroism or vigilantism and his life as a lawyer. Like, you just have to have them. Plus, they provide the heart of the entire show.
It's just like Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All these characters have their side
Pepper
characters.
Potts.
You know what I think they are going to do, though? I don't think they're going to put him in the black wrap suit. I think they're going to put him in the red suit. I think they're going to keep him in the DD suit that everyone's been wanting him to stay in since the show fucking started. I think they're going to keep him in the red and black suit.
You think they're gonna trash the yellow?
It would make
I could see it being in a few episodes and then him being like, "Yeah, this is too bright. I need to go back to red."
Yeah, because when he looks himself in the mirror, he's like, "No."
Or he could make a reference to it like
that.
Yeah, I've already tried different colors. Believe me, they don't work. You know, something like simple as that.
I would love for them to do the 90s Daredevil suit where he's got ironclad metal all over his fucking suit. That'd be sick.
Oh,
but I know they're
Daredevil
not
black suit?
Yeah, the all black red logo.
That wouldn't go over well with a lot of fans.
Oh, I don't give a shit. I'm not trying to appease them. I'm trying to appease me. Fuck all them fans. I don't give a damn about
He's
them.
all no yellow.
No yellow.
For me, like, I'm fine with either the red or an alternative version of the yellow suit. Like, for instance, there's oh gosh, which book is it? It's Daredevil Yellow.
Yeah, I was
this
just
suit.
gonna say Daredevil Yellow.
I mean, this suit he had on in Echo, I thought was fine.
Yeah,
see, here's the thing though. That's in a flashback. So that's from when he first started, if not season 2. That's that would be the best. That's my best guess because that's when his thing fucking got the cord in it.
But I will say, my favorite Daredevil suit is the black suit with the blindfold. I do hope we see that at some point because I just love how simple it is and how grounded it is, especially with the hand wraps. It just looks so much more intimidating to me personally.
Yeah, I get it, but man, there's just something really fucking cool about that last suit.
Yeah.
Which one? The gold one?
No. The suit they used in the final episode of season 1, the red and black.
Oh yeah.
I think the yellow one looks more like it blends with the rest of the MCU as far as like, you know how like every character has to have that like fucking upgrade. You know, and they're all in this like you go to the same tailor, kind of like that fucking little lady from Incredibles, like no capes. Like I think they
Mod Mod
Edna mode.
And, yeah.
So like it's like Daredevil, like that's where he got his yellow suit. It's like okay, it's gotta look like he's got to stand next to these other characters. It's like okay,
I think
we all have the same tech.
He had to go find a new
right there.
tailor.
That looks like fucking Captain America could stand next to this guy, and they came from the same fucking tailor.
I think he had to go find a new tailor because I think something happened to Melvin Potter in season 3, or like they had like a kind of a fallout. I think I don't remember.
Yeah, because he stopped going to him.
He had to.
I need to watch season 3 all over again.
I do too.
Yeah,
it's been too long, but yeah, I'm pretty sure something does happen to him. If anyone in the chat knows, let us know. But
like I think Kingpin threatens Melvin Potter's girlfriend or wife or something.
Or the girl he has a crush on.
Yeah,
it was something like that. Edna mode. But yeah, this is a yellow suit. I mean, I thought the yellow suit looked cool, but in the context in which it was being used, I wasn't a big fan of it.
The lighting was not flattering.
No, it was overly lit, overly bright in She-Hulk. But I think they figured, well, look, we're gonna have him in the show. It's gonna be a bright show anyway. Let's keep him in the yellow suit, or let's put him in the yellow suit because this is the one time you'll be able to see the whole suit in color. You know. Right. If they had the dark suit, it might look too dark, but in a bright environment, that might not have gone so well. So,
is it homaging his first appearance? Yes. Is that what Marvel does most of the time? Yes. Going forward, they're probably going to put him in the red and black.
Well, and like what Phil was saying too, like when you saw Daredevil and Echo, it was a flashback.
Right.
It was when she first started working for the Kingpin, and so it was like, oh, okay, so that's why his suit is red because this is a flashback. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So that having said that, I was like, hey, that makes sense. So, and that was a smart move to say, hey, look, we'll make it a flashback, and he's in his red suit, so you can't argue like, well, why is he in the yellow suit? Well, this is a flashback. And you're like, oh shit. But the yellow suit, I mean, it looked cool, but I don't think that they're going to continue it.
I don't either.
There it is.
Because it has too much association with the She-Hulk show, and the She-Hulk show, I mean, for lack of more nice terms, it just did not appease a lot of people.
No.
It didn't hold up in court.
It did not hold up in court. Yeah. That's.
I think is this the one?
Pun intended.
This one?
Yes. That is the Bill Everett Stan Lee first appearance, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yep.
But see, it's like, I personally feel like they were trying to emulate or trying to have that same feel of the She-Hulk show when it came to Daredevil. And that's when I think they decided to make a change. Like, hey, wait a minute, this is kind of stupid. What are we doing here? Let's make this the Netflix show canon. Let's make it more like that show, and let's give it its own. Let's emulate what they did. And
it's
this
like
may be
that other show for a reason.
Well, at the same time, though, this might be the first time that the MCU is actually molding a show based on the way another show was done. You know what I mean? Usually it's always like, no, it's got to be Kevin Feige and the MCU's way. I think this is one of the first times where they're like, hey, let's just do what they did for this show because it really worked and the fans liked it.
The only time something like this ever happened prior to this was when they brought in the actor who played Jarvis from Agent Carter in Endgame to be Tony Stark's dad's chauffeur. It's the only other time they've done something like this. But this is on a much bigger scale.
That's true. That's a good point.
So we'll see how that turns out.
We'll see if they make... I'd be shocked if they made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. canon.
You see that meme where it was like...
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Walking away, it was like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, oh.
Yep.
Because they embraced the Netflix shows, but they didn't embrace that show. And that was on ABC.
I mean, they're even embracing the Fox Marvel universe of X-Men.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Fox Marvel universe of X-Men, they're going to completely lean into that as we end the Multiverse Saga. Because that's the best way to introduce the X-Men is to use the old actors and then do a reboot where you have all new actors again. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
and you might as well.
Every one of those actors who was in those X-Men movies probably feels like, yeah, we were kind of boned out of a nice send-off both times. So please, Kevin Feige, do us some due diligence and give us a sweet send-off in Secret Wars. That's what I think is going to happen.
I agree with this. They should just embrace everything. Why not?
They should.
Embrace it all.
Edwin Jarvis.
Except for Runaways and Cloak and Dagger. I don't think they're going to make those canon either.
Oh, I forgot about
the Runaways? I forgot about that.
Yeah, Runaways and Cloak and Dagger. Yeah. Those were on Hulu.
I thought Cloak and Dagger was pretty popular at first.
At first. I think it only had like 2 or 3 seasons. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Neither did I.
Yeah, I didn't watch it either.
You know what they're definitely not going to make canon?
What?
Inhumans. They are not going to make Inhumans canon. Ain't
that's
no
gone.
fucking way.
That was like there and gone in a blink of an eye.
Oh, real quick.
One season, what, like 10 episodes? Something like that?
Man.
Yeah, it was something like that. I'm not sure. I never watched it, but still.
I watched
the
first 2 episodes. And
Inhumans was on ABC, wasn't it?
Right, yeah, it was.
So that's even worse. Yeah. It's even more limiting on what you can do or say. So we do have some other news to go to, and let's go to that right now. This is the big one here. Ryan Reynolds posted this today saying the suit hides the blood, also sweat, but today with Deadpool rapping, it's mostly tears. A giant and forever thanks to the cast and crew of our film who battled through wind, rain. Oh, there was Phil. Wind, rain, strikes, and the real Hugh Jackman, all under the stalwart leadership of Sean Levy. I got to make a movie with my closest pals, and that doesn't happen very often. See ya July 26th. So today, they officially wrapped filming of Deadpool 3, which I cannot wait to see Deadpool 3. I think it's going to be badass. And then we also got, let me see if I can find it. Well, that's me saying, I'm so excited.
Oh, there you go.
I'm so excited.
But there's his crotch. You know?
Yeah, that's such a Ryan Reynolds way.
How's it hanging, pickle packers?
Oh, that's what's going on. Got it.
Oh, there we go.
It's Phil Poole.
Phil Poole.
How is my favorite quadret of geeks doing today? Huh?
We're doing very good. Looking at the Ryan Reynolds post about how they wrap filming on Daredevil.
Yeah, it's always nice looking at a variant of my cock. Isn't it great?
It's funny that it's funny that like when you look at the picture and you're like, oh, cool, and you look at all the details, then you're like, I'm looking at his crotch.
You are looking at my crotch. You're absolutely right.
And there's so many blood stains on it too. So I wonder if it's towards the end, towards the middle. I don't know, but
you have no idea how much blood went into making this movie, baby.
But the question is, why is it all in the crotch?
Don't you want to?
Why not? Why not?
I'm just asking.
You overgrown crotch goblin.
Oh my gosh.
So
there's
listen
also.
up,
go ahead.
Check it out. This movie's now done wrapping. I can't wait. We all can't wait to show you all the beauty that is Deadpool 3. There's going to be some slashing. There's going to be some hacking. There's going to be some back and forth between me and my friend Wolverine. Oh yeah, that's right, everybody. Me and Wolvie. It's a buddy cop road trip between me and Wolvie, and not like that other buddy cop movie in the MCU.
no, 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 no. This one's actually going to be funny and worth it and full of people in traditional-looking costumes. You bet your asses.
That's the best part, is that they're traditional outfits. I mean, look at Wolverine. That looks great.
Yeah.
Doesn't Hugh look great there?
I am really curious to see if like Wolverine is like gonna just be comfortable in the suit, or he's gonna be like, why am I in the suit? And Deadpool's like, oh, you just gotta be in the classic suit for the fans. He's like, it's very uncomfortable. I imagine he'll say something like that.
You're wrong.
Or even the mask. Because like in a lot of these shots, he's not wearing the mask, but we've seen in like leaked promo art,
we tried.
He has the mask on with the white eyes.
The mask on. We know. We tried, but no. People just had to go and spoil the surprise of him in the mask, of fucking course. God, isn't that so beautiful though? Look at those two friends. Look at them. They're having so much fun.
So
that's pretty awesome.
Again, how old is Hugh Jackman? He's in his 50s, right?
50s. He's upwards in the 50s, something like that.
And he's still got as jacked as he did for the movie. My gosh, it's
Hell
impressive.
yeah.
Well, and there's a reason why he has sleeves on this suit. You know what I mean? Because he's like, okay, get jacked, but you don't have to get as jacked as you did for like Days of Future Past. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna be wearing a full suit.
I think he got the most jacked for X-Men Origins.
No, he got the most jacked for his wife complained about it. I think it was the Wolverine or whichever one where he was fighting the in Japan.
Oh yeah, that's
the
Wolverine.
Yeah, and he was saying she was complaining about how jacked he was. She's like, that's not natural. I don't like that.
Really?
He was jacked, dude. I thought it was really good. I actually like that movie a lot. That was good.
Yeah, I like that movie.
It was very good.
Everything except for the Silver Samurai. They did not do that very well at all.
That was something else. You're correct there, Mr. Weidrich.
That was basically Shredder from the Turtles. Kind of making
and the twist wasn't very. The twist wasn't surprising at all.
Well, and then he drains the adamantium, and you're like, oh, that sucks. And then the last scene they show,
adamantium, you don't say.
And then they show the scene where he got what do you call it? Where he meets Xavier and Magneto at the airport, and you're like, oh, so I assume they did something and got
McAvoy or Stewart. I can never tell. These timelines are so confusing.
Look at this shot.
Good God, that's
fun badass. Scene. And that's just them acting.
Jeez, he's just stabbing the hell out of him.
Like at one point, I think he stabs him in the head. Oh, he does. There's another image out there where it shows him like stabbing.
I can neither confirm nor deny. I'll just say that much.
And Deadpool's just been like, "Ooh, that tickles."
I mean, how could you not be excited for this? He got Hugh Jackman to come back. I mean, that's awesome.
I mean, again, I hope that it's a proper send off, or at least a good use of a lot of the Fox X-Men material, because again, we've had multiple attempts at giving them farewells, and it just hasn't necessarily been the best.
Let me put it to you this way. This will be one hell of a farewell. It's going to be one hell of a movie. Everyone's going to be happy, and I'm probably going to guess that every Marvel fan who is pissed off at what happened last year is going to fucking get down on their knees and suck the teat of Marvel Studios for redeeming themselves this year with the one and only Deadpool 3 movie coming
it's gonna be
in
badass.
July 2024. With that said, I bid thee fairly well, nerds. Have a good one.
Goodbye, Phil Poole. Goodbye. While the regular Phil comes back, let's go to our super chat from Connor Dorian. Sorry, it says, "How do you explain why Blade and Cottonmouth look exactly the same if Luke Cage is canon? You don't. You just gotta go. You just gotta roll with it.
Yeah,
gotta roll with the punches. What's up?
Roll with the punches. That's right.
Just hanging out.
You just have to. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, don't ask questions. Just.
What did I miss?
The super chat. That was it.
Okay.
You want to take Do you want to take a stab at it, Phil?
How do you explain Blade and Cottonmouth look exactly the same if Luke Cage is canon? It's simple. Cottonmouth died.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the super chat, man. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you for the support. We appreciate it
very much.
That cool? My son thinks that video you just played is awesome. He's like, that was cool. All the fighting. That was awesome.
It was great, wasn't it?
It's the reason why we have it here, Andre.
Exactly.
It is indeed cool.
Yeah, and you can take him to the theater to go see it.
Why? I can show that to him here in my house. Droga writes, I'm so nervous about this. It's just so overwhelming. Okay. Hang in there, buddy. Cottonmouth. Hey, Cottonmouth literally dies. It doesn't matter. Even the Luke Cage showrunner even says it. Yeah. So yeah, he died. So that's what I'm saying. You don't question it. You just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't.
Maybe they're distantly related cousins. Who gives a shit?
And what's crazy is that like the biggest comic book movies that are coming out this year is Deadpool 3 and Joker 2, which I think is also going to be a pretty cool movie. Although we haven't seen much of it other than stills. So I would imagine we're going to get a trailer sometime soon. But we know that the trailer for trailer for Deadpool 3 is supposed to drop on Super Bowl Sunday, which is going to be really cool if that comes to fruition. I mean, it's the best time to do it. I mean, if you're going to advertise that movie, you might as well do it on the Super Bowl.
Let me put it this way. If the Chiefs end up going to the Super Bowl, you bet your ass they're probably going to show that trailer.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
It's Taylor Swift.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, there's a rumor that she's actually in the freaking movie.
Right, as a variant of Dazzler. Yeah, that's the rumor.
Well, I've heard that. I've also heard that she might be playing a girl version of Deadpool.
Oh, wow.
It's like Lady Deadpool, I think it's
that'd
called.
Be hilarious.
I could see that, actually.
Yeah. Because
you know what?
the three of them were seen at one of the Chiefs games getting out of a bus. It was Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and
Sean
Taylor
Levy
Swift.
and Taylor Swift, yeah.
And speaking of Deadpool variants, we saw a photo of what looks like maybe a good guy Deadpool, where it's like Ryan Reynolds with
He looks like he's got fucking Thor hair.
He does.
You know what it reminded me of? And I know it has nothing to do with it, but it reminded me of Omega Red, like the way his hair.
A little bit, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I first thought of it. I was like, that's not that.
And the padding for the suit was like really cheesy looking.
Well, and then like the dog he was holding.
Bun?
Yeah, he had a man bun.
He kind of has like that Qui-Gon Jinn haircut. But and then there was the dog variant of Deadpool that he was holding. Dogpool. So I thought that was really cool, and plus it's going to show that more variants of himself are going to be present in this movie, and that's cool.
So question, if there are variants of Deadpool in this, what kind of different variants of Wolverine are we going to see?
Ooh.
No.
At least one.
At least one or two, right?
So Connor says, hold on. Let me read this. Let me read the super chat, guys. So Connor comes back and says, thank you again for the super chat. But he says, they've also said that they're going to pick and choose what is canon in the Daredevil TV series. Well, that's so I'm assuming he's sort of going off of his last comment. But so, I mean, I watched the first season. I know Andre and Phil have watched the second and third seasons of Daredevil and this whole crossover transition, whatever. What are your thoughts on that, Andre?
I think pretty much everything's going to be canon. If you watch the show, they make references to, the Battle of New York. They softly reference the Avengers. I never saw anything in the show that would compromise the MCU's timeline. That's why I'm saying no. It should totally be canon, 100%.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm with Andre on that one. There's really nothing in the show that would contradict anything that happened in the confines of the MCU. Hell, even Echo shows that Daredevil survived the blip.
Yeah,
because the first flashback they have takes place in like 2018 or 2019, if not 2021, something like that. So that right there tells you that Daredevil survived the blip, and also makes a lot of sense because who was saving New York City while Spider-Man was effectively out of the picture? Daredevil.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that.
Great point.
And
I thought he just stuck to Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen.
That's his little domain.
Yeah, but it's still in New York.
Yeah.
He's had a broader area.
If the rumors of Vanessa getting recast are true too, that's a nothing burger. No offense to Ayelet Zero, who played her in the first 3 seasons of Daredevil, but seriously, this is like even a less than different situation than say recasting Rhodey, recasting the Hulk, recasting Thunderbolt Ross. This is a secondary character. If they recast Vanessa for Born Again, nobody's going to pay that much attention.
Yeah.
Or care that much.
Damn!
I'm not even trying to be an asshole. It's just the way the fucking industry works, dude.
It's true. There's not going to be a lot of noise made about it. As someone who has also seen the show, I agree with that.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
Yes, I thought the show all the freaking
I thought it was rated
time.
PG. You can't see PG. Anyway, thank you for the super chat, Connor, and here you go.
Thank you, Connor.
Thank you. Woo.
He's another $5 super chat
right,
saying, "What about the earthquake in the Defenders?"
When did the Defenders come out? I don't remember what year that came out.
Yeah,
And I think Connor's also quizzing us right now. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, Phil is our resident Marvel expert.
It's been a while since I watched the Defenders, so like,
yeah, it's been a long time. Like I remember I didn't like it very much.
Let's see.
Might have to.
Okay, so Defenders premiered New York, July 31st, 2017. All 8 episodes released on Netflix August 18th. So it premiered in 2017. So that's interesting. If you go by traditional timeline standards, that would be before Infinity War, so you couldn't blame it on the snap. I don't know. I feel like if the Defenders is also canon, which at this point it probably is, it's not out of the realm of possibility that an earthquake happened in New York and they just kind of fucking moved on from it.
Yeah,
they can choose to acknowledge it or not. It's something minuscule and small that if they acknowledge it in a movie, okay, yeah, you're gonna get a couple Netflix fans being like, they're gonna do the Leonardo thing. They're gonna do Leonardo DiCaprio going, But honestly, that show came and went. So many people don't even talk about it that much. The people who honestly talk about the Netflix stuff are usually talking about either Netflix, The Punisher, and in even some smaller degree, probably Jessica Jones.
Yeah, outside of Daredevil, of course.
And anyone who ever talks about Iron Fist usually talks about how bad it was, except Colleen Wing. They want her back as Iron Fist, and it would make sense because if you go by the continuity of those shows, she's the one who has the Iron Fist now. So I'd like to see her come back as the Iron Fist, but I doubt that's going to happen. I think they're probably just going to change it over, if not do another Iron Fist outright. Luke Cage, that's a bit of a 50-50. They could go either way on that. I could see Mike Coulter coming back, but I could also see them being like, we can recast him too.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked by that either.
But John Bernthal, you bet your ass he's coming back as the Punisher.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can't
100%.
You can't recast John Bernthal as that role. You just can't.
No.
There's no one out there who can do it better right now, anyway.
And on top of that, like, he did his audition tape with Tom Holland. Like, they both did their audition tapes at the same time to get the roles that they landed in the MCU. So it would be a big mistake to recast him, if you ask me.
Yes, absolutely agree with you there.
But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as far as Netflix continuity is concerned. I mean, you could make the debate, to some extent. They're probably going to pick and choose from the overall, like, Netflix continuity of what they're going to acknowledge, what they can't acknowledge. But as far as Daredevil specifically is concerned, no. It's all canon. It all happened. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think everything happened.
Everything happened. Like him getting picked up by his mom in the Catholic Church in season 3 and having to fucking rebuild himself. Yeah, that totally happened.
Which is awesome that they went that way with the show.
I agree wholeheartedly. That and fucking, man, if Wilson Bethel comes back as Bullseye, I want the goofy ass black and white suit. I want a Bullseye. I want a traditional comic book looking fucking Bullseye.
Or I think what I'd be down with too is if because he had that Daredevil suit in season 3, if he had like a retrofitted, like shaved horns, like black and white version of that suit with the Bullseye, I think that'd be sick.
I agree with you there. That'd be fucking dope.
I think that'd work really well. And it would just make sense.
Well, think about it. Oh, you haven't seen the end of Echo, have you?
No, I haven't watched Echo yet.
Andre, you and I are the only ones who knows what happened at the end of Echo. That's funny. Yeah. Because I feel like the end of Echo really sets up Born Again.
It does.
It 100% does.
Because it shows you the path that Wilson Fisk is going down. And so it's like, okay.
100%.
Oh, I do know the ending scene. Yeah.
But not only that, though, but it felt like that more or less helped set up not only Daredevil, but also Spider-Man 4. I think Spider-Man is going to be more about that. Because, I mean, there's all these rumors about Daredevil being in Spider-Man 4. So it's like, it would make sense if you have Born Again and then you have Spider-Man 4 where Daredevil's a part of that story and they're fighting against the Kingpin.
It would make for good street level storytelling, and it would be the most consistent thing they've done since they've started this new era of MCU. It would be the most consistent thing they've done in the multiverse.
Well, and he hasn't had, Tom Holland Spider-Man hasn't had a street level type villain
Not really.
to deal with.
Not since the first movie.
But even in the first one, you had Iron Man flying around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that was in the city. You're right. I mean, they were on the ferry. Everything was there.
But I'm saying, like, as far as antagonists go, like the Vulture and his crew were straight up street level villains.
Yeah.
Then you kind of get to Far From Home, and you got fucking Jake Gyllenhaal being Mysterio.
Yeah. Well, then you got Infinity War and Endgame, where it's like
right.
Like, holy cow.
And then we
got one more question from Connor Dorian. He says, how do you explain Black Mariah in Captain America Civil War?
What?
I don't know.
Where was
I have to look that one up.
In Civil War, I don't understand the correlation or the question. You're going to have to word that a little better.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who Black Mariah is.
That doesn't even ring a bell. Like, because Civil War came out the year before Defenders did, so that doesn't track.
But since you gave us a $5 super chat, we will give you one of these. Oh, what? I clicked on another one of his packs. She was the angry mother in Civil War.
Oh, well, she was mad at the fact her kid died in Sokovia. Mm. That's why she was mad. Because of everything that transpired in Age of Ultron.
And I thought that was cool that it connected to Age of Ultron because it showed that there was, that was their way of saying, hey, look, see what we do in the MCU, there's stakes involved. There's repercussions.
Which, I'm not going to lie, it never really made sense to me why people got mad at the Avengers for that because they tried to stop it. Like, it always frustrates me when in stories, whether it be movies or comics, when citizens get mad at heroes because a villain did something and killed people. It's like, they didn't do it. They were trying to help you. The freak you talking about?
That was like with Superman and what's his name? The guy who was like, oh, my wife left me, all this shit. It's kind of like, okay, well, sounds like you had a hard time.
Yeah.
Connor Dorian writes, she is Cottonmouth's sister in Luke Cage.
Oh, well, that's just a case of the same actress probably being cast in two different roles. It's not the first time it's happened.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole deal of Civil War, the seeds for Civil War were planted in the very first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like that you see the beginning of the conflict between Tony and Steve in that movie. And then it gets even further in Age of Ultron, but then by the end of that movie, things just get blown way out of proportion, and that's what leads to Tony being like, yeah, no, we need to do the Accords, we need to take accountability for our actions, blah, 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 blah. And Steve being like, no, we're here to fucking help people. And that's why Civil War happened.
Yeah.
Well, that, and then it was discovered that Bucky killed his father, and then he was just like, now I want to kill him, and he's like, wait, no, he's my friend.
Right.
Which, still, you can say what you want about Civil War and that whole era. To me, that was all peak MCU. I was watching some of that on TNT. I was like, dude, this is when the MCU was like kicking ass.
It's like, I think that is the weakest entry of the Captain America trilogy, but I would also still say that Captain America trilogy is probably the best trilogy in the MCU so far.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Because, like, as a movie, Civil War has some really clunky elements to it, and the fucking action is not that great. It's good, but not as great as Winter Soldier was. But there's a lot of redeeming qualities in it, but then there's also some kind of head-scratching moments in it, too. Like, I'm not a big fan. I think I've said it here before. I'm not a big fan of the Russo brothers when they do these big-ass fucking title cards for every location.
Oh, yeah, it's like
I hate
Prague
that.
Or whatever, Paris.
Queens or fucking the Triskelion. It's like, oh, fuck, guys, come on. This is unnecessary and obnoxious.
Yeah, because they did it in, what do you call it?
Infinity War.
Infinity War, thank you. I was going to say Eternity War. I'm like, that's not it. In Infinity War, they did the same exact thing.
Yeah, and it started in Civil War is when they really kicked it off. They showed, like, Queens. They showed fucking, not Prague, Germany, I think. Or, I don't remember. But, like, the point is, it's like with Civil War, they specifically and deliberately showed off these humongous fucking annoying title cards. And I was like, this is kind of dumb. But... yeah, and even then, like, I like Civil War. I like Civil War a lot more than Age of Ultron. That's for damn sure. But I still think the movie is flawed in certain respects too. Like there are some things in it that just don't kind of make sense to me. Like why is there a camera in the middle of nowhere that showcases Bucky killing the Starks?
Yeah,
that never made sense to
in
me
that
at all.
time era. There's a camera. You know, I was like, what?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
It's
I
like,
get
what?
why they just said whatever, just do it anyway, but it didn't make any sense. I was like, that wouldn't make any sense.
It wouldn't,
You know,
right?
yeah. I was watching that movie, The Beekeeper.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was all right.
Okay.
But there's some parts in it that I was kind of like, what? That doesn't make any
So
sense.
have you seen The Tax Collector from
No.
David Ayer?
Yes, I have seen that.
Okay, so well, you haven't seen The Beekeeper though.
No,
I was gonna ask like which one would you prefer, Beekeeper or Tax Collector?
I did not like the Tax Collector very much.
Okay.
I didn't see
It was
Tax Collector.
okay.
I haven't I haven't seen Beekeeper, so I can't make that
I
call
liked
yet.
Fury. Was the other one he did?
Oh,
He
Fury's
was-
a
yeah, he
great
did
movie.
great.
Fury was
Phenomenal.
way better. I was like, Tax
That-
Collectors. What are we doing now? It's like I'm trying to, he did, Suicide Squad. He was like, well, I guess we're not doing anything more with Warner Brothers than that or whatever. But I'm going to do this, and I was like, that's not that great of a movie. And then I thought, George Lopez did a better job in Blue Beetle than he did in fucking Tax Collector.
I was
I
kind of
thought
sad when he died. in Tax
Fury is like a real movie. That's like a cinematic
Yes.
experience. Like that's
was
a
a great
fucking great
Collector.
movie.
Fury is what landed him Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but the other
think.
movies that he's made, like Tax Collector, which I'll admit I haven't seen it, and Beekeeper is kind of like, I mean, they're just fun experiences. A lot of action.
I liked his other movie that they did with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, it kind of got stupid at the end, but and he had the guy that God, what's his name? That played Slade. I forget his name. The tall guy. He was in
No Manganiello?
Yes, Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
He was in that movie or whatever. I forget the name of it, but it was that was a fun movie.
He also got an uncredited right on the first Fast and Furious, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe he got a writing credit on that. Either way, he wrote.
I wouldn't
for the first Fast and Furious.
Well, his biggest claim to fame was what is it? He wrote the screenplay to Training Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's what they were like, whoa, what the fuck? And then he did End of Watch. That was a good movie. I enjoyed that one.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. That one though, I kind of felt like the way it ends, I kind of felt it coming, but I was like, maybe not. And then the way it ends, you're like, fuck, really?
Right.
They got all sad, like, god damn it.
movie.
But it was a good movie.
Sabotage.
Great
Yeah,
movie.
there it is.
Love
That's
it.
the name
Oh,
of it.
Sabotage.
Yeah.
Sabotage. Yep. That's the
It
one.
is the Arnie film. Yes.
Yep.
It was a good film until the very end. The girl in the back in the fucking trunk, it just ruined it for me. I was like, no, this is stupid.
That's fair.
But it was cool until then. I liked it.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's right. He did the movie Bright with Will
he
Smith.
did. He did Bright.
Yep. But
And
it
that was
I-
a Netflix
movie. And I
Yeah.
didn't think that was a bad movie. I thought that was
It
all
wasn't
right.
great, but it wasn't bad. I thought it was very imaginative.
The concept was really cool.
Yeah.
It was like, let's take Fairy Tale and make it really shitty and grungy and like what happens
Why don't we
when
do Lord of the Rings but with cops?
people
and
aren't
drugs.
Too big on that movie. People aren't too big on that one because he co-wrote it with fucking Max Landis.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy's a douche.
Yeah, that guy's a douche nozzle. for
But
sure.
I remember watching that movie. I was like, this is kind of a cool concept because you got like was it like goblins and I forgot what all the different races
And
they had,
orcs
but
or whatever.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
cool though. I was like, I've never seen these kind of characters in this type of environment. Holy shit! So that was cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it
But
was-
the last thing I want to bring up is this right here. Hold on.
Okay.
Pull it
Where
up.
is it? Pull it up.
Okay. Pull it up.
bring it on
Pull it
up.
up. Here it is right here.
Ah, here
Yep.
it is.
Okay, so
Yeah, I've seen this rumor.
I don't know if this is true or
Oh,
not.
he's gonna be Kang. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's good. This guy's Kang right there. There he is.
Oh,
That's
they're
the
going
new
in a different
actor.
direction.
Different direction, man, more grounded. But he says this rumor says that Jeff Loveness, poor guy, plans his plan for the Avengers Kang Dynasty was to reportedly gather all the leads of the multiverse saga except Thor to fight against the Kang variants on Earth. But at the same time, it's kind of like, look, hold on, let me finish first. The film would have felt relatively grounded and not involve many multiversal elements. I think it's pretty obvious that if you were going to do Kang Dynasty, at least initially, is that you're gonna have, your Captain Marvel, your Shang-Chi, your main characters, Doctor Strange, all them fighting against all these kings and get completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And so that's what led to the TVA saying we need to assemble a team to help, all these timelines. So I think that's kind of the meat and potatoes
Led
of it.
by
But
Thor.
Thor wouldn't have been there. I wonder why. He's off running around with the little girl.
He's still
He's giving his powers to what's her face.
Yeah.
Which didn't make any fucking sense at all, even in that movie.
Oh, that was a horrible movie.
What a fucking terrible movie.
Here come the goats again.
You actually got Gotham grown. Good job.
What's that?
You got
He got
Gotham
me
grown. Good job.
Freaking hate that movie.
I don't like that movie at all. It's not great.
It's one of the worst of the MCU.
It is.
Oh, it is the
of all
worst.
time.
It's
It
the
is
worst.
It's the worst.
I would rather watch Captain Marvel than watch that.
Oh,
Yeah, because Captain Marvel actually has a
Yeah.
great supporting cast in it.
I would rather
Yeah.
watch Morbius on repeat for 2 straight days than watch
Morbius.
Thor: Love and
I
Thunder
could watch
again.
Morbius. I don't think it's great, but I could. Watch
I would rather marathon Spider-Man 3, Morbius, Batman and Robin, Catwoman, and Steel for 24 hours straight, for a week, every day, for 7 days a week, before I watch Thor: Love and Thunder ever again.
As much as I hate Batman and Robin, I agree with you.
Even having the Guardians of the
I've heard of
Galaxy in
that.
that movie, which I think they thought that would help, that would help boost the movie. I even felt bad for them. I was like, God, why? Like, what are they even doing here?
They're in it
Like-
for one action scene, and then they're gone.
And then they're gone, and then
Big deal.
they're gone. And it was like, oh, I guess that's it.
Yep.
They're gone. Okay. That was my. I remember that was my exact thought. I was like, okay, I guess, okay, they're not going to come back. Yeah, they're gone. Okay. And then it just kind of moves on. It's really, really dumb.
Christian Bale's talent is so fucking wasted in that movie. It's not even funny.
He was the only one who was trying. Like, Christian
Him
Bale
and
was
Nat-
trying to act.
Him and Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
For sure.
But then his story was even like I guess they cut out a lot of it or whatever because
They
it
did.
was
They
like
did.
it didn't. I didn't give a shit that he was doing what he was doing.
He's like, Love and Blunder was awful. It was.
I agree.
Fucking terrible, man.
I don't watch a lot of MCU these days because of movies like that.
Well, but at the same time, though, it's kind of like, where's the quality control? Like when does Kevin Feige step in and say, "Hey, Taika, like, no, I'm not. We're not putting out movies like this. This is
I'm
garbage."
trying to think if I've actually watched anything MCU related since Thor: Love and Thunder. What has come out after Thor: Love and Thunder?
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Okay, I did see that.
Yeah, I saw
Ant-Man: Quantumania.
Okay, I did
saw
see
that.
I did see that.
Guardians
Okay,
of
so
the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh yeah, I
did
guess.
see
Your
that.
narrative is crumbling right now.
Well, I just couldn't remember if it was before or after.
He's like, oh, I saw that too. Oh.
What If Season 2.
Didn't see that.
Didn't see that.
What if season
Secret
2 heavily
Invasion.
related to Echo,
The
which I was like,
Marvels.
Didn't see the Marvels. Haven't seen Secret Invasion.
Haven't seen the Marvels.
you're not missing much, so.
Yeah, you're really not.
Haven't seen.
I mean, I would say to that extent, like the Marvels, the best part about the Marvels is the ending.
I would say that even like What If is good background noise and filler to like look up if you're drawing and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. Then go back to doing what you're doing. I would
mean,
say that about What If.
the last few projects that you listed off, I mean, this is how it made me feel.
What in the hell was that all about?
You're just like, what?
I mean,
Secret
to be honest,
Invasion was
ever
like,
since,
oh.
yeah, it was okay. Ever since the Endgame, in Endgame was weaker than the one that came before it.
I like Endgame.
But-
I like
but
Shang-Chi.
since
I thought
then,
Shang-Chi
like,
was a
it's
fun
like-
movie.
It's like they don't have really a good map of like what the fuck they're supposed to be doing. It's like they're trying to figure the shit out as they
Well,
do it.
but at the same time, though, when you look at the pandemic and you look at the strike, you look at all these things
I
that
don't
kind
give
of
a shit
slowed
about
everything
any
down.
of that.
And then you also factor in Jonathan
I don't
Majors
give
getting
any
fired
excuse.
too.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors getting fired. So it's just one of those things where you're like, holy shit, like, man, this is
like-
getting brutal.
I can't wait. I can't wait for them to do what you guys are talking about as far as like bringing back all the X-Men and just reboot the whole fucking thing.
Reboot
then,
the whole
like,
fucking thing.
To not even just like add more salt to the wound, but like in the pandemic, fucking Chadwick Boseman died. He was supposed to be like one of the leading new pillars of the MCU going forward too. So when you have one of your main actors who is essentially going to be either your next Steve Rogers, Iron Man, whatever character you want to compare him to, and he, the actor passes away, like
well, fuck, now we have to completely reforge everything we planned on doing with him. Just one more thing one more hurdle they had to like try and get over, and fuck, it's still haunting them to this day.
Well, it's also one of those questions too.
They went in a different direction. I thought that they would just simply, recast him and try to build that character back up, with because it's a role, dude. I mean, yeah, the guy died.
They should have just recasted him.
They should have just recast him.
It was a bad choice either way, because if they would have recast him, you would have had people pissed off. If they didn't recast him, people are still mad. They were fucked one way or the other. Doesn't matter.
But they're gonna have to recast him anyway,
one way or the other.
Yeah, because the Shuri or whatever the fuck, that shit didn't work out, and nobody gives a shit about.
Wakanda Forever made like $800 million at the box office.
Only because of only because of the circumstances. That's the only reason. That's like I tried watching it. I stopped watching it. I was like, nah, I'm done. This is done.
I haven't rewatched it since I saw it in the theater.
It's look, I would rather watch fucking the first Black Panther again than to try to sit through Wakanda Forever.
Well, no shit. I mean, that's
a better fucking movie.
That's a bad comparison. That's like saying, no, it's the same. I'd rather watch Infinity War than watch that again. Like, well,
I'd rather watch Infinity War than fucking.
I know, but come on. That's come on.
No, it's not. It's the same.
If you would have said, I'd rather watch Captain Marvel than watch that again. Like, oh wow,
fucking movies. And I'd rather watch the first fucking.
Well, of course, the first one's better.
And yeah, but you were like, oh, but Namor. I don't give a fuck about Namor.
I don't care that you don't give a fuck about Namor. All I'm saying is that you made a bad comparison.
Because that was the best.
Don't try and gaslight me. You made a bad comparison.
You're trying to gaslight me. You've learned
bullshit. That's like saying, dude. That's like saying, Rise of Skywalker. I'd rather watch The Empire Strikes Back than Rise of Skywalker. Like, well, yeah, no shit. That's a real original.
I'd rather watch the fucking Ewok movies than the fucking sequel trilogy.
Which one?
Droga, you need to fucking chill. Wakanda Forever is a good movie. It is not better than the Batman.
No, it's not.
It's not better than the Batman.
No, not even close.
Fuck no.
Not even close.
I like Ryan Coogler. I think Ryan Coogler is a fantastic director. I'm sorry, but Wakanda Forever is not a better movie than the Batman.
No, it's not. Not at all.
No.
Not
Wakanda Forever is a good, if not great movie, but it is not better than the Batman.
No, Droga, you're out.
He's fishing. He's fishing. He's totally fishing right now.
He's like, I don't fall asleep till Wakanda Forever. Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Well, the Batman is a very fucking.
It's a slower movie.
It's a slow movie.
It's cool. It's got a lot of really cool things in it. But a better editor could have come in.
So what would you rather watch then? Wakanda Forever?
Oh, a Batman.
Okay. See.
Yeah. No. Yes. I would rather watch the Batman than a lot of the MCU shit that's come out.
Yeah. It's
okay.
Fair. Because duh.
Unfortunately, though, Andre has to take off.
Yes, I have to go. So, guys, continue the show. Carry on without me. At least try. And I'll catch all you guys.
We'll find a variant of you to bring in. Don't worry.
Yeah. Don't say that. Axel will hit you up right now.
Ooh, upgrade.
Oh, shit.
Upgrade. He's younger.
Wow. He's younger. He's more talented.
He's from down under.
So he can stay up later. Earlier.
God. Art going on.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I will catch you guys next time.
All right, dude.
Man.
All right, later, guys.
Okay, he's still here.
It's like,
he's like, all right, bye, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, Droga, what is it with your hot takes, man? I'd rather watch The Dark Knight Rises and Batman and Robin over the Batman. Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
Droga just likes to say things that are controversial.
I would rather watch
the
Batman than The Dark Knight Rises. Ugh. The Dark Knight Rises is that's like peeling my eyelid.
Look, if fucking Batman's in it, I'll watch it. I'm not mad. I'll watch it. I'm a pretty easy lay when it comes to Batman. It's nothing new to me.
So you'd watch The Flash.
Okay, you might have actually got me there. You might have got me there. Okay, you know what? Yeah, I can watch The Flash.
At the beginning of the show, you said you'd rather watch these other movies than The Flash, but it has Batman in it.
This is true. You're right. And I still would watch those movies over The Flash. And the fucked up thing is, not only does The Flash have one Batman in it, it's got 3. It's got fucking 3 in it.
But you're talking about Clooney?
No, I saw
Dawson's
Adam
favorite
West.
Batman.
No, you know what? Dawson's right. Or it's got a homage to Adam West there too. You're right.
Yeah,
Adam West with
in
no
there.
bad years.
Yeah, that was weird. That was a choice. That was a choice. Did you guys see that Christopher Reeve's family apparently had like no like acknowledgement or like no like they weren't at all called about their father being used in that movie?
Not at all surprised.
Typically, you have to, that's what they do.
Oh, I'm sure the estate probably gave the okay,
yes.
but like his kids, like
Yeah.
from what I understand, his kids weren't they weren't called and they hadn't seen the movie, so it's like, oh, wow. It's like, hey,
Well,
we're gonna
I mean,
use your dad's
all
likeness.
they have to
but
do
we're
is,
not gonna, like,
is basically just dot their I's and cross their T's legally.
true.
They don't do things out of fucking respect. Like, hey, let me go talk to the familia. Let me go get
Yeah, this isn't The Godfather. We know.
they don't do shit like that. I don't care if they're not gonna get sued by the family because they made it. They went through the proper channels with the estate. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Which is still just like a ghoulish thing to do, if you ask me. Like both George Reeves and Christopher Reeve were in that movie, and it's like neither one of them are here physically. It's like, oh, ugh.
Well, fuck. I mean, even the
And Adam West,
even
And
the
Adam West.
Coppolas weren't called when Nicolas Cage was on screen because his whole cameo wasn't even him.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't at
he
all.
went in to film something else. They're like, fuck this. He looks too fucked up.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I guarantee you they brought him in to perform a scene just so they can get like measurements and detail on him and like see like, okay, this is how he looks, and then use that.
They already had what they were doing from the Tim Burton fucking behind the scenes. They didn't need him because he's older, fatter, and his shit's droopier. So they didn't need him at all.
Okay, you know what Nick Cage movie I actually just watched last night for the first time in a long time?
The Rock?
Fucking Face Off.
Oh, really? So that's a movie that needs to be remade today.
Yes.
So did you know Adam Wingard, who's doing Godzilla X Kong, apparently has a Face Off sequel in mind that he's apparently gearing up to do after Godzilla X Kong? And apparently Travolta and Cage are coming back for it.
Oh no,
No.
no!
I don't know
Reboot.
how. I don't know how you even do a sequel to that.
You can't. I mean,
You
honestly,
can't.
Honestly, like, no offense, John Travolta had a legendary career. Keep him out of it. Keep
The
him
sequel's
out.
gonna be called Facelift.
Oh, but also just like leave John Travolta out of it. Ever since that movie, he has done nothing good.
Facelift. Oh no.
Because like, isn't the
was
last thing John
bad.
Travolta did like that movie called The Fan or something like that?
The Fan. That
Where
was
he was
Yeah,
a
weird.
where he plays like a. He plays. It
An
was like
obsessive fan of some like pop star or something, or
Fred
something like
Durst.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, from Limp Bizkit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah. He hasn't done anything good since. You know what? You know what really did him in?
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, that's
I was
what
gonna
did
say
him in.
Hairspray.
That movie
Hairspray.
sucks.
Oh, yeah, he
Hairspray
did
was
Hairspray.
stupid.
I forgot he did Hairspray.
Hairspray was stupid. I don't need to see him, dressed up like a 50s mom or some shit. And it was dumb.
That was
No.
weird. That was.
It was
such a-
just dumb. It was like, okay,
It was a
what do
choice.
you?
That was such a choice. That I'm like, no. I love John Travolta. I do. He's one of my favorite actors growing up. But yeah.
He was originally down to just like these ladies earlier. It was between him and Chris Reeve to be Superman.
I believe that.
Yeah, I believe that too.
And
78, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I think he got Grease instead or whatever. I can't. I don't know what. I don't know what he did.
Although he would eventually end up in a comic book film because he plays Howard Saint, the first Punisher or the second Punisher film.
He
with
does,
Howard
yes,
Saint.
the villain.
Yeah.
Great villain in that movie, if you ask me.
Well, he's a great villain in a lot of things. He was a villain in.
Yeah, he's a good villain.
Yeah.
He's a good villain.
He's also a really great just dude holding a gun. Like, look at Pulp Fiction. Vincent Vega.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a villain.
He's also
Okay,
really great
you're
doing this.
But yeah, no, he's a great actor. I like him a lot.
Nerd Cosa Nostra, Pelham 123. Yep.
Oh yeah,
Bacon Pelham 123.
I think that was a remake.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're
From
right.
Paris with Love. Mm-hmm. Let's watch Nick Cage in a movie called Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, yep. That's the.
Heard of that?
That's basically a
plays
Five
a-
Nights at Freddy's movie without being Five Nights
He
at
plays
Freddy's.
a mute.
right?
He's not mute though. So how could he do that?
Well, they don't actually ever say he's a mute. He just doesn't talk.
Right.
He just does. He never has a
You
single.
should have
moment
cast
of
somebody who's
dialogue.
actually mute.
But
I don't know.
that one's actually kind of.
I'm
fun.
just saying that shit because of the echo thing or whatever. It's just stupid. It's like
Oh,
it's like I get it. It's awesome
you
that you
insensitive
cast
jerk
somebody.
ass.
It's cool that you cast somebody, but isn't that a part of acting? Like, can you act mute? I can act mute. Like, I mean, that's like fucking saying Al Pacino can't be in Scent of a Woman because he's not really blind. Like, shut the fuck up. He played a great. Oh, what's funny is, just like what's his name, Charlie Cox playing a blind person. Like, they actually have an issue outside of work making eye contact with people.
Yeah.
because
You
of
spend
the
so much
because
time.
you spend so much time, like, you know, keeping your eyes straight. You gotta work on not doing it.
You know, it actually kind of fun to just pretend to be blind.
General's daughter was great. Yeah,
knows
man.
you. Like if you're somewhere where nobody knows who you are, just pretend to be blind so you don't have to like actually socialize with people. Pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Just get a blind person cane. I mean, heck, I'd be down to do that. I don't like socializing with new people.
You'd look funny with a cane though, because you
He'd look like the
just
Riddler.
because he's so tall. He'd have to have like a Gandalf staff or something to make that to pull that shit off.
He'd look like the Riddler.
Oh my god.
He would look like that's the cane you need to get.
You need to get Jim Carrey's cane from Batman Forever.
Yes, with that hook question mark, I guess.
The
Sarah?
skull too. Yeah. Or no. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you're pretty
And then you
dope.
gotta like do the joygasm in the Batcave.
He does that already.
Oh, man.
I unabashedly love that movie. No
It's a
shame.
fun movie.
It's a fine movie.
I had a lot of
I didn't like some of the choices.
Oh sure, they're questionable. I won't deny that.
I ain't going to deny. I ain't going to do it.
Oh, so he watched
It is a
Batman
fun
Forever
movie.
with his partner.
Yeah, it
It's
is
a fun movie.
Definitely a fun.
It is
movie.
a fun movie,
It is indeed a fun movie.
and Batman and Robin is also a fun movie.
Nope.
Looking at it through the right lens, it can be.
It is a fun movie.
A drunken lens, I'm assuming.
Yes.
No, you can have a lot of fun with it.
It just fills me with pain.
Let's kick some ice.
The
Pain.
worst thing about that movie, unfortunately, is Julian Glover and Bane.
Julian Glover.
Mhm.
Who's Julian Glover play?
The scientist.
You
Oh.
mean Jonathan Glover?
Jonathan. I'm sorry. Jonathan. Julian.
Yeah, Bane's.
I played it Juilliard. Yeah, Jonathan Glover as that mad scientist or whatever. That was just so stupid.
He was Dr. William Woodrow. Yeah, that was a choice.
and Uma Thurman's hair was just dumb.
Well, also, like, they have that lab
it looked
like, in
dumb.
the middle of that forest, and all of a sudden they're just there in Gotham, like super quickly. Like, I don't know. It was just
Passage of
weird.
Time.
Oh, they got it. They got.
You
on
know
the
what's a
plane, don't
good
you know?
movie though? I don't know if Dawson's seen this, but I'm sure Phil has. Is Mystery Men,
I have
because
not.
it came out roughly around the same time. So if
I have.
you and because of your love of Batman and Robin, I would definitely recommend Mystery Men because it's kind of
It's
that
in the-
same.
Yep.
It's got that same like feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
does.
it
Basically
is
tell me to stay away from
freaking hilarious. No, it's great. It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's got William H. Macy in it. It's
It
got
does.
'cause
Ben
he played-
Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
It's got
Yeah.
the guy from The Simpsons, Hank Azaria.
Yep.
It's got who else? Oh, it's got that guy that played Tom O'Ray. He
Yeah.
was also,
Yeah.
he was also in Pirates of the Caribbean.
right.
It's Caribbean.
It's Caribbean. It's a schlocky movie. like in the same way that Batman and Robin is schlocky.
But it's great.
It's a fun watch. Yeah, I'm with
It
Ryan.
is.
It's a fun watch and worth the checkout.
Oh man.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. But no, as far as like Batman and Robin is concerned, like that's a good story on paper. It's all about execution.
Oh yeah.
All about execution when it comes to that, and even I would say to a lesser extent, Batman Forever.
Yeah, because I mean, there was a lot of really cool things, ideas that they had in Batman Forever, but it wasn't like they wanted to update the Batmobile because in the Batman Returns it turns into a missile or whatever. Cool,
Right.
but
right.
I think it was a downgrade as far as design. And I thought,
True,
riding up the side of a building was kind of stupid. And having that dorsal fin on there was really, it was a choice. Because when the dorsal fin opened up, you could see how flappy it was, and I was like, that just ruined the whole aesthetic for me. I was like, that just looks dumb. And then to go further into Batman and Robin, I liked that the Batmobile was like a single seater.
I didn't like
and it
that.
was open, but I didn't like the lights and shit that they had on like the engine and the wheels and all that. I thought that was stupid looking.
Yeah, I don't like that Batmobile very much. I honestly kind of go the Batman Forever Batmobile, the Anton First Batmobile, and then the Batman and Robin Batmobile. It's kind of my ranking of them.
Man, mine is always the first Batman.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, that is it's a great design and it's timeless. It's iconic too. It's more iconic than any other Batmobile that you've seen.
If there's anything more disappointing in the Flash movie, it's the fact that Michael Keaton did not drive that fucking Batmobile. He didn't do fucking shit with it, and it's like, come on, the fucking Batmobile is in this movie, and you don't drive it once.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I there was so many. There's just so many things with that film that was just like
the Batwing was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. The one thing I loved about the Batwing was like the whole
the gyro aspect to the
that was so
cockpit.
awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
I love that shit.
You know what they could have done in that final
amazing.
battle? They could have had it to where he has the Batwing, but then have the Batmobile drop out of it, or like attached to the bottom or something. Like use it in that way to where you can drive around running Kryptonians over or something. Like I don't know. I feel like it could have used it in some way that'd have been cool, but they just let it sit in the Batcave.
You know what would have been really cool? A Flash movie that wasn't a multiverse story.
I would have loved it. You know, it would have been awesome as well to actually touch on the fucking Reverse Flash.
Yeah, right.
Actually mention him, or show him, or even hint at him, even a little bit.
Do a Flash villain in a Flash movie.
Yeah,
like give me Captain Cold, give me the Top, give me Weather Wizard.
But I mean, Batman has the best rogue gallery, but second to Batman is the Flash's rogue gallery.
In DC, yeah.
In DC, yes. Like, okay, best rogue gallery is Batman and then Spider-Man.
Flash. Okay, in DC, it's Batman, Flash, then Superman, probably. Yes. In that order.
And the problem with Superman villains is that they're great, but they're not used.
They're all big, large scale villains.
And they're large scale, villains. Darkseid.
There's only like a handful that are smaller scale. You can only pick like two.
Like we said before,
Parasite or
Bizarro,
Bizarro.
Parasite,
Bizarro.
Bizarro. Yeah, Bizarro. Bizarro is actually what in Superman 4. That's what they were going to use before Nuclear Man.
Mm-hmm.
And
way to do Bizarro, but
in Superman 3, that's actually Brainiac.
Right.
Not Brainiac. That is it is. It's Brainiac.
Supposed to be. Yeah.
It was supposed to be. And then they changed it because they were like, nobody's gonna know who the fuck that is, And they just, they totally just don't really go in on Superman's, just characters, villains.
And
the only ones they do is freaking Luthor and Zod.
Zod, yeah. And like, that's kind of why I really hope Superman Legacy has a fucking Superman villain that is not Lex Luthor in it. I really don't.
They already cast him.
I'm just saying. I want another villain in that movie that is not fucking Lex Luthor. I am.
Yeah.
Look, I love Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I do. I thought Gene Hackman was fine for his time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn about Kevin Spacey. I never have, even though he's arguably probably maybe the best thing in Superman Returns. But seriously, show me a fucking Superman villain in a Superman movie that is not fucking Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Yep.
For God's sakes, I'm tired of it. I'm
Yeah.
so sick of it. Man, I hope it happens, but time's gonna tell. He's got like a month left. We'll see if there's anyone else getting cast for this movie in the meantime. Doubt it
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, like
Oh,
have
we
maybe
should
Lex
find out
Luthor be
this
like
next
in the
month.
background. I'd be fine with him being in the background, but not the main villain.
Yeah.
Well, that's even what Zach was trying to do at the beginning. You know, he was just sort of like in Man of Steel. You know, you saw like LexCorp or some shit. You know, just he wasn't the main villain, but he went to Zod.
Yeah.
That's honestly why I liked Lex Luthor being the one to make Doomsday. I was like, this is a neat twist on the mythos. And
Yeah.
yet everyone had to bitch and whine about it. Everyone had to bitch and whine about it. They were like, man, that's not how Doomsday was born. Oh, Lex Luthor doesn't have hair. Fuck you, people. People suck, dude.
Dude, people are the worst.
They are.
I
They're
don't-
absolute fucking worst.
I don't like human beings.
I don't like most other comic book nerds on the internet because they all bitch and moan about fucking superhero movies that should have been one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. Instead of just, I don't know.
Excluding us, because obviously we are,
Yeah.
sensible human beings with lives that we go to every other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rather than just simply, enjoying the fact that there are all these different ways to interpret these cool characters, like appreciate that fact rather than just be like, no, it's one way. It's like there's not just one book, there's thousands of them by different writers and artists. Like cope with it a little bit. There's gonna be differences.
But no, I'm talking about like those hardcore fucking keyboard warriors who have nothing better to do with their time than just sit and bitch on the internet all day, every day.
Yep.
Well, that's their thing.
Sure.
You know, that's the reason why they do it, because that's all they know how to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately,
It is what it is.
it is what it is.
Right.
Can't get by that, but
Nope. Big nope.
yeah.
Big Noperino.
Big nope burger.
Big note burger. But I don't know. Is there anything else that you guys would like to touch on tonight while we still have some time?
Forget, was there anything else that we forgot?
The Last Airbender. That was what we need to talk about.
We already did.
I already did that.
We already did that.
I already
Yes,
expressed
I
my-
remember.
Oh, you know
I
what?
remember
We haven't
talking
talked about
Momo.
fucking Batman and Superman going into public domain in a decade.
Mickey Mouse just went into public domain, didn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. January 1st.
So I mean, dude, I would love for Superman and Batman to go into public domain. That way we can all use them.
Would be nice.
It'd be fun.
Because like I'm trying, I don't know like all the legal stuff about it. So like when it gets to public domain, is there no way for any of these companies to like retain rights to them? Like
So
95 years is the length of time
I
that they
believe
get.
so, yeah.
And when that expires, they can trademark logos. They can trademark the way the character looks,
Which they have.
and they've done that. Yeah. So just like they've done with Winnie the Pooh and all of your characters, any character that you come up with, and any character that I come up with, they're only going to be, I don't want to say untouchable, but they're only going to be
Near impossible. It's going to be near impossible for them to do, for anyone in a public domain space to be like, oh, here's my version of Batman, here's my version of Superman. They have to do it basically in the same way where they were interpreted from their very first outing, more or less.
And if you look at like the Winnie the Pooh that came out last year,
Blood and
public
Honey?
domain?
Yeah. The Blood and Honey
So
movie.
then yeah, they started doing that, and there's other Winnie the Pooh stuff. I mean, so you can definitely make money, but you have to have your own version of that particular entity character.
yeah. Well, cool. I didn't know any of that. So
Yeah, I would actually expect to see probably like a superbly neo-noir version of Batman happening once that shit hits public domain. Like
Yeah.
it's just gonna be a straight up noir fucking detective-esque fucking story, kind of like the Batman, but he's gonna look hella different.
That Captain Marvel, Shazam, but Captain Marvel, because that was roughly around the same time. They're Golden Age characters.
Yep.
And any
Lots
other
of
Golden
comics.
Age character. So Lex Luthor will also be in the public domain because he was one of the original villains, but he was a mad scientist. He started off as a mad scientist.
Right.
and there's a lot of other things that that are going to be out in the public domain now that we've sort of like taken for granted for years, because when you're growing up you don't care about shit like that, like yourself, you just you're young, you don't you haven't looked into trademarking or copywriting or anything like that, and you should, because if you're doing Vine Loro and all these other things, you need to copyright that stuff. It's cheaper, it's only about $60, but to trademark something is about $500 to $600.
Yeah.
And you have to trademark every single thing. You have to trademark the name, you have to trademark the look, you have to trademark and if you're trying to do like a front, side, back, you have to trademark each one. As far as like drawings or whatever, usually meaning just get away with one perspective, just say, hey, this is it, whatever. But you definitely want to copyright, and the only way you can copyright like things like Savage or Vine Loro is if they're in a series. That's the only way you can do that. You have to have at least 2 books under the same title for it to be classified as a series. They can't be one-offs.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't be doing that for a while. Since I'm just gonna wait till like I get more, like if I get published by, or get like working on different books for the people for different publishing companies. Then like later on, I'll be like, okay, here's this character. If like at that point, that'll be like, okay, let's trademark this. But since I've only like self-published, like I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just worried about doing work for other people and all that good jazz. Yeah.
Yep.
Coolness. Well, we still have some time. Let me just throw this up. I know Dawson has seen it, but I definitely wanted to share that with Phil. I was going to show Andre as well, because I know he probably hadn't seen it either. I'm going to share slides. No, share screen. It's been a while. Share. Bam.
Boom shaka.
At the stage. Okay. This is
I saw this on Instagram.
Kind of showed this off on, of course, Instagram. But this is sort of like my blue line. Hold on one second. I need to go back and do that. Here's my blue line. Let me right here. So this is my first preliminary drawing or sketch or whatever, and I needed to have them interact. And so I basically, when I draw, I usually draw most of the figure. And then I'll go back and when I pencil, that was a rough pencil, when I quote unquote ink it, and these are on different layers. I just go back through and like you can see here, I changed the head. I shortened the neck a little bit. I moved a couple things, but I got his hand is here, and there's his arm, and then his other arm's behind him, and yeah. So there's a little final.
The foreshortening on the criminal's hand is really good.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, agreed. Just wanted to kind of show that off. I put that on Instagram. If you guys wouldn't mind in the chat, sending a little like, follow me on Instagram. I'd appreciate it. It does help out as far as like just awareness. Because I am making this for nobody, because nobody is aware of it. I'm just doing it as a passion project, and having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
and I should be done with this thing. Drawing it should be maybe next month, but then I got to go back and color it. I got to flat it, I got to color it, and then add the effects and the bubbles, all the bubbles. Got to do that. Bubbles. But yeah, it's all fun, and yeah, man, I'd appreciate any support on Instagram for that.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of art, I'm still doing the Spawnuary challenge. I'm gonna try to get one done this week.
That wraps next week, right?
Yeah, I need to do one piece for it's villains this week. Any Spawn villain. But last week it was Scorched, which is basically the Spawn team.
Right.
This was the piece that I did for that one, which was really fun. I was able to get a lot of fun characters in here. You see the front, like Medieval Spawn, Haunt, She-Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and Redeemer. I'd add in Redeemer like last second because I'd forgotten about him. And even though he's last second addition to it, I honestly love how he turned out. I love the pose and everything. So
yeah, no, these are great poses.
That's really good. I like that.
That actually does look like, I mean, they all belong together as far as like,
Yep.
Yeah, and
it
this
just
is
it looks really good. The one thing I was like, oh man, I had to go back and look at other versions of it, but the Gunslinger Spawn, I was like, is this hat supposed to look like a thimble? And in some instances, it is.
Yeah, it's a very tall hat. And also the newer design has it where his mask looks more like a bandana mask, because he wanted to look different from Spawn and not be mistaken for him. But what's fun with this is that it's an homage to a Spider-Verse cover where
okay.
Yeah, on that cover it's Ben Reilly in the front, then you have Miles Morales behind him where Spawn is, then where Haunt is regular like Peter Parker, then you have Spider-Gwen where she Spawn is, and then as far as Gunslinger Spawn and Redeemer, those ones were original poses just to be composed in the right place, because I wanted Gunslinger Spawn to be shooting his gun and Redeemer Bambi last second. I kind of just wanted a regular like flying through, fist up, ready to fight kind of pose. But yeah, the first 4 characters are.
And so this is for if they pick you, your art would be on the cover of a Spawn comic.
Yes, for this week, the theme is Scorched. So if this were to be one that would be picked, for instance, it would be put on the cover of a Scorched comic, which would be absolutely awesome. My bubbles! I did have the other entries that I did. I kind of made this an entry. I entered more so the inks for this because I'd like to see what someone else does with the colors, because ink or colors are not my specialty. But
you didn't color this?
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I did. I was just trying it out, so like it's kind of an entry, but my inked version is more so the entry that is actually officially submitted. But I definitely wanted to see what it would look like colored, and this is kind of the basic idea. At the least, it would end up being like a color guide for whoever actually colors it if it does get picked, which would be pretty cool. But
Dope.
Yeah, so there's that. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for my villain piece this week. I kind of just want to do Violator.
Yeah, I was going to say you should do the Violator.
Yeah.
If not the Clown, you can do Clown.
I actually have done a clown piece.
But it kept him up at night.
Wow. No, I actually, I think I have it somewhere here. Let me find it, and Phil, you can share what you've got going on.
Yeah, so this year on the Eternal Night, there's probably not going to be too much Batman news happening, but Craig and I are planning to do a full-blown movie-by-movie extended universe retrospective of all the DC films. So we're going in order of release. Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Aquaman, the whole line, all of it in order and movie by movie. We're going to do an episode detailing like a retrospective of the universe, and then following that, we just go right into each movie by movie.
Nice.
So it's going to be interesting to see how this one shakes out.
Yeah.
Might hear some
really cool.
Might hear some familiar voices on there too. We'll get
Sick.
We'll get some things going. Yeah.
Nice special guests.
Possibly. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Everybody go follow the Eternal Night. And I found the clown piece that I did. So there's that.
Nice. There you go.
I would maybe want to like redo some things, but overall, overall like this piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coolest thing, I like the blood, and I like the cigar.
I like the face.
As far as like, the face is good. No, I mean, just the things that stand out are those things right there. I was like, wow.
Well, even the Violator eyes stand out too.
One thing that's cool about this, though, is that Thomas Healy, editor-in-chief of Spawn Comics, saw this piece, and he pointed out that a lot of people, when they draw the clown, they have the blue face paint, and they have it go around the eyes, but actually they cut through the corner of the eyes on the outside. And so he noticed that I did that and was like, hey, good job. You got the detail right that most people don't get right. So it's like, ha, yes, I'll take the compliment from you, Thomas Healy. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do something like this.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But I'll at least submit it just to kind of show it off.
Sure.
But yeah.
No, it's worth it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly. But anyway, that's what I got going on with Spawn. You worry, nothing else really going on in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have Big Lit Comic Con coming up in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks.
I This is actually a cool story. I'll tell you guys, but I have to get like over 100 prints printed for this next convention because this past week I went to a comic shop up like an hour away from us, and I'd emailed them before Christmas about like selling some of my prints through them, and they were like, okay, come reach out to us after Christmas, after the busy season's done. And so I did, and we went up there, and I have all my prints in the back of my car because I have a weekly table that I do, so I just keep it in the case in the back of the car. And so I go in with like 5 of the prints to show the lady who owns the store.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, these are awesome. Like, do you have any other examples? So I brought in the entire case. Well, after a bit, she picked out like 73 prints and bought them all from me.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, they're like half price because they have to make money and all that good stuff, but still. So now I have to like, what's great is I sold out of a lot of stuff I'd had a hard time getting rid of for a while.
Yeah.
So now I can bring in a bunch of my newer material and display that at this next Comic-Con. And yeah, that was a huge blessing, and it was awesome. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that
was a nice little boost. And that was the same day that I went and saw Return of the King Extended Edition in theaters. So that was a nice, very, very nice day, to say the least.
It was a glorious day for Dawson.
A glorious day. All sorts of nerdiness going on, and it was all going well.
Right.
Nice.
But yeah. Anyway, I think that about covers everything for today.
I do believe you're
Pretty
correct,
much
sir.
wraps it up, guys. We have hit the 2-hour mark, as we like to do. So if you want to check out more of Dawson's artwork, it is over at DJ Wart, and it is it's definitely there. You can check it out. You can order some prints. You can hit him up. You can harass him. No, don't do that.
Buy T-shirts there too. I think.
Buy T-shirts there, and if you want to follow us on our respective social medias. Is I don't know about unfiltered.
No,
If
that's right.
Still a thing.
That's-
It's still a thing. Okay,
It's
That's
everywhere
how you-
except Twitter. No, don't worry. You're right.
okay. So yeah, just follow all of us on these platforms. Mainly like TikTok, Twitter for some, Instagram, and Threads.
Vero.
Yep.
Vero for those of us that still use it. Yeah, check that out. If you want to get some superhero apparel, check out my TeePublic store, which I'm going to update and start making some of my own prints.
Nice.
Yeah.
So every in the future, possibly every shirt that you get from me, I will have had a hand in making it.
Nice. Very, very nice. But with that, as always, guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in and just nerding out with us. Just on these
That
fun
we do.
conversations.
That was
Unless something comes up, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.